Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about 2019 in Guild Wars 2. Let's just talk about it. Let's have that conversation. Let's go. So, let me set the scene. The way this is going to go, everything from early January all the way up to basically now, hide the UI. Okay, let's hide the UI. There we go. The UI, that's gone. Arc DPS is gone too. I just closed that shit. There we go. It's gone. So, let us talk. Let us talk. You know, the year is 2019. Okay? And the day is January 8th. January 8th, guys. And our story begins with All or Nothing, which is episode 5 of The Living World Season 4. Okay, so do you guys even remember this episode? This episode is where we had to go and basically procure a vision for Ori. We had to kind of like, Ori went to see the future, and well, it doesn't really turn out so well. It looks a little bit, not looking that good, to be honest, like, as you see there. But there you go. This is a very long time ago, nearly an entire year ago. And we had that story. We get to play through that. Not really anything with it. Like, we did actually have the Faris longbow, which we were just talking about. There you go. Now been superseded by the mythic weapon skins there as well, I guess. And we got a pretty interesting new map, actually. We did actually get a pretty interesting map, I think. With this here, right? Where this kind of like hybrid with the pipes and stuff like that about the place was quite an interesting one. That's for sure. With the big ooze, the big oil boss as well, and the Thunderhead Keep as well. I thought that was a pretty fun map, right? And we've got some good memories. Of course, Mike will remember us trolling really hard and like doing it before reset, and then they get really upset at us, and then they're forced to do it again. Anyway, we continue. We get Aureen's vision. Things are happening. Here's the trailer. This is the trailer for all that stuff. Here we go. Can shrink that down while we're talking about it. And you know what? You know what's kind of funny? Is I think people were still relatively optimistic, actually, for the state of the game. I think people were actually surprisingly happy with Guild Wars 2 at this point. It was certainly a little bit quiet, actually. And, people were wanting to see the next thing that was coming along very quickly. But there was a new fractal coming with this as well. And I think the story was confidently done. There was a good amount of story. We did have this new boss. The boss was a little bit anticlimactic as well. But, there you have it. It is what it is, right? We got this new fractal. Now, I think this fractal was probably a bit of an ouchie. This fractal was where they probably decided that there wasn't really going to be another fractal, at least for a very long time, because it really went down like a complete lead balloon, right? Like, people did not like the new fractal at all. In fact, the best part about it was something I'll show you in a little bit. There was a secret in Siren's Reef, actually, and the developers actually called me out. They called me and Wooden Potatoes out for not having found the secret. I don't have the clip for that. I couldn't find it, but I'm sure one of you guys might be able to find it, and we can show that if you're able to find it. But yeah, that was the trailer for the for episode 4, that All or Nothing, and it it ends in a quite an interesting little vision here as well. This was really cool. Actually, when we wait, hang on. Oh wait. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting meme, right? Like the actual end cutscene here. It turns out that Aureen is gonna have a bit of a situation here. Okay, it's not good. Like, we actually end up fighting Krogtor in a really well executed story situation. Like, the story throughout the Thunderhead Keep map, right? When we actually go ahead and fight Kralkatorok in the end, with these Aureen memes here. It really was quite something, actually. The music was excellent, the sound choreography was really amazing, and then you kind of treat it to this cutscene at the end there as well, where everything doesn't work out so hot, right? Like, Kralkatorok kind of beats our ass, and then eventually, of course, defeats Aureen, kills Aureen, as you'll see in the cutscene. So I think this episode actually really inspired people about the game and got people a little excited because it was one of the best story execution episodes they've ever actually done. It really was impressive, right? So, 2019 started off quite strong. I think people kind of, memory, the future and what's happened has kind of colored people's memory of the past, but it actually started out really well, okay, with this. And we can just kind of skip ahead here to this really interesting, like, semi-cutscene, semi-gameplay section as well, some little custom animations where you actually, like, there's some really nice touches here as well. I think when you get to this ledge, you actually kind of flop down instead of jumping. Yeah, like you fall when you drop down, right? And you have to, like, get up again. And then move on like that, right? Like, this is not me, this is an Azura, right? But yeah, the vision, it turns out that the vision came exactly true. As we skip forward here, like, all our friends are really, really sad, and then Timey's gonna cry, and she's really sad, and there you go, Aurene is dead. And the way this reveals, actually, was really well done. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you've got to give credit where it's due. The way they had this instant set up here was actually really, really good, right? You just turn around, and then boom, Aurene dead, okay? Like, Kate's flowers are going down. She got branded during the course of this stuff as well. It's getting crazy, guys, okay? But then, oh no! Looks like Aurene got farmed. We led her to her death. Oh, looks like the vision was right that we got in the previous episode. Oh, dearie, 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 right? So there you go. But yeah, a very strong start to the year, if you can believe it, right? If you can actually believe it, a strong start to the year in 2019. This was on January 8th. This came out. And the story was this. The secret, sorry, was this. So ArenaNet actually called me out on Guild Chat. They said you didn't find the secret. Not even Wooden Potatoes or Teapot found the secret. So the next day, I got my crack team of plebs, went in the fractal with multiple instances and tried to find it. And I am really proud to say that we, on the stream, it wasn't me actually, it was Big L. Big L was the world's first, posted a picture of it. Well, we posted a picture of it. The world's first team to find the secret. Like, nobody found the secret and posted about it until us. And it's actually this little mini Karka hatchling, okay, inside the ship at the end of Siren's Roof. Took us a long time to find that, actually. But yeah, right inside the ship. You can angle your camera and see the little Karka there. Big L found it. And he has a little role in our Discord to this day because of that secret. Actually, he found it first. Feels good, man. There you have it. So yeah, we got called out by the devs, and we took action, guys. We took some fucking action, boys. Okay, that's what we did. Now, oh, there you go. Have a look at some Asmongold shit. Now, of course, the next episode, and kind of the next thing that was kind of on everyone's mind, was actually War Eternal. Now, this episode didn't actually come till quite a lot later. This came in May. So we're going to backtrack in a little bit to talk about some other stuff. But I think it makes sense to talk about the story, in a relatively linear way. Like, this was the next episode here. Obviously, we're very sad. Bad things have happened. Keith is like, oh dear, this is not good. And again, this I think got people quite excited. This cutscene was well done. It was very dark, very bleak. For a long time, people had been complaining about the kind of like happy-go-lucky, bit of a romp situation with the story in Guild Wars 2. So I think people were really happy that it was taking a bit of an edgy turn, right? Look at this. Really nice motion here on all these characters. Well-animated cutscenes. Great musical score here as well. People were hyped, right? People were hyped about this stuff, right? People were ready for action. But here's the issue, guys. Here's the issue. We're not going to talk about War Eternal because before this even actually came out, we did get some very, very bad news about ArenaNet, actually. And we'll watch through this trailer until the end. But, okay, there was some bad news which kind of tinged, okay? It did tinge this with a little bit of doubt, okay? And we got this in February, actually, and we'll see that very, very shortly. But yeah, this is the trailer for War Eternal. Great trailer. This is episode 6, the final episode of season 4, War Eternal. But an interesting one, I think, and again, it was a pretty solid episode, to be fair, as well. Maybe, and even with a very cool map as well. But there you go. Ooh. Season finale, War Eternal, that came out on May 14th. But before that, okay, you guys thought I was gonna dodge this? You're fucking wrong, dude. Okay, when you come to this channel, you expect thoroughness, quality content, and I will deliver that, okay? Because on the 12th of February, 2019, ArenaNet tweeted this, which is highly ironic, actually. On the 12th of February, they said, "Our sympathies are with our industry friends affected by the recent layoffs. ArenaNet is hiring for a few positions in programming, localization, and tech ops." And this was in response to a lot of layoffs that happened at Blizzard in the early time of 2019. But why is this ironic? This is just nice. This is very PMA. They're helping out their brothers and sisters in the tech industry. Well, I'll tell you why it's incredibly ironic. Because then this comes out just a few days later. Literally days later, like about 10 days later, ArenaNet bracing for layoffs, and an even updated here in this post. Look at that journalism. Layoffs confirmed to have occurred today as part of organization restructuring. We've got a lot of articles here. GameIndustries.biz. I think the one that was the most popular was actually the one on Kotaku. Here with Guild Wars 2 developer ArenaNet plans for mass layoffs. Now, this... the details on this actually came out that this was because of some projects that had been being run by ArenaNet basically had not come to fruition. And there is no strict confirmation on this, but the rumors were that ArenaNet had actually been investing like 100 to 200 million in projects that never really saw the light of day. And that was assumed to be Guild Wars 3, and an unknown console game. Now, interestingly, it seems that the console game may have survived, as Arena are now hiring a developer for Unreal 4 to work on a console project. So we may still actually end up seeing that. So, but yeah, this was one of the projects that they were maybe doing. I think there was a mobile game in there as well, but hey, that might be coming through NCSoft West as well. So these projects might be coming back. But yeah, it was really, really sad. And look, you guys might be picking Kek W, but this isn't funny, right? Like, a lot of people lost their jobs over this. This was a really, really sad thing for Arena. And I think, like, as much as I hate to say it, I would say that the layoffs have probably defined Guild Wars 2 and ArenaNet's history for all of 2019. And certainly a shadow over the game is that NCSoft really took a bit of a machete to the company, and this ended up with at the end of the day, this resulted in Mike O'Brien's either resignation or nudge out of the company, and Mike Z taking over as game director. But yeah, this was a really sad thing, and it really sucks that a lot of people lost their jobs. The consolation here is that they are working at a prestigious company like ArenaNet. They were almost certainly able to find future employment very easily, and some of them did end up getting rehired back, presumably, well, unfortunately, perhaps a lower salary, right? Or in a different position as well, right? Like, that may have happened. Like, these things happen in business, right? But yeah, a very, very sad time, and a time of massive doubt. Like, this really fueled the fires of the dead game meme, because this obviously blew up in media, right? There were YouTube videos made about this, there were Reddit posts, it was everywhere. ArenaNet is getting mass layoffs. And it turned out that they went from about a 400-person studio, and I think around 150 developers were trimmed, as it were, right? Like, to be a little blunt. And that is really sad. And as a result of this, ArenaNet went undergoing a restructuring process where they refocused many of their resources onto Guild Wars 2, and we probably haven't really seen the full effect, actually, of those restructuring changes. Like, I think you'll start seeing them in kind of like episode 2 or 3, realistically, because as we know with ArenaNet, they have a lot of this content being developed for a long period of time with multiple teams, and you won't really see any of these effects until a little bit later. There is content, it's coming out a bit fast now. Like, we had 2 months between episodes, between the prologue and episode 1, but still, right? I think we'll see the true effect of that later on, and I think they've definitely changed the direction of the game. They are going in more of a story-driven direction as opposed to an endgame or traditional MMO direction, which is raised the ire of quite a lot of players. But yeah, like, this really rocked the Guild Wars 2 community. I think there was definitely an era of like, haha, dead game. Ironically, people were like, it's ArenaNet, they're just a little bit rubbish sometimes, aren't they, when it comes to releasing content. But this hit people, right? This was like, oh my god, it was like, it's happening. All right. Now, of course, maybe a little bit reactionary. I think a lot of the developers who were maybe gone were not working on the main projects for a long time. They may have been doing other things as opposed to Guild Wars 2, so it may have not impacted the actual game. And hey, refocus on Guild Wars 2. That's better if you really like Guild Wars 2, I suppose. But yeah, definitely a really sad thing in the midst of Guild Wars 2's 2019 history, I'm afraid. It was a really, really big deal and very worrying as a player. Absolutely, for sure. But let's see. You know what, guys? You know what we got 2 days before that? I'm slightly out of order here. Gosh darn it. Okay? Guys, it's the Warclaw! Yeah! And this was maybe not the ideal piece of content to have set up when you are currently undergoing a quite serious set of layoffs. It is to release a mount. Now, the mount was a bit of a weird and unsurprising addition. Now, do you guys want to know a bit of a quite hilarious piece of context for the Warclaw here, actually? Well, let me say this. The developers had been talking about an update for World vs. World that they were really, really excited about. And they were like, oh, dude, you guys are going to love this World vs. World update. It's coming soon. It feels good, man. We're going to hit you hard. So people were actually expecting some kind of reward rework, myself included. I expected some kind of update to Siege, which we knew was coming, an update to rewards maybe, that sort of thing that we thought was coming as well, how that could be working. But instead it was the Warclaw. And I think it was actually that expectation and the lack of clarity that really upset people, right? I don't think people would have been that upset. No, actually, no, who am I kidding? That's bullshit. People were always going to be upset about this. But you guys may remember my take on this. My take on this was that I was upset that they were adding a mount and not something for a World vs. World player. But on the other hand, I didn't think it would affect the gameplay. Because, yeah, obviously, right? Like, being on a mount is never really going to be that advantageous. Now, people were really worried that it did a lot of damage, it could finish off down players, and that it would have too much HP. It turns out it doesn't really have that much HP at all, and the finishing down state players doesn't really matter that much, right? Okay, that is how it goes. But, yeah, like, there was a glitch, actually, that was causing people to think that the Warclaw was amazing, but actually not. So there was a bug that would cause, every time you would use every time you would hit someone, even if they were already dead, with the Warclaw dismount skill, it would give war score, even if that person was already dead. So people were like, aha, look at this, look how OP this is, we're one-shotting everyone with our Warclaw. No, you're one-shotting people with shades, and then you're also experiencing a glitch, with the Warclaw finishing people. So yeah, like, people really overreacted about this, and it turned out that the mount didn't really do anything. Like, and it made an insane amount of players actually join into World vs. World. And this has been my biggest complaint. The Warclaw was implemented at the wrong time. I don't like the idea of mounts in a game at all, right? And particularly World vs. World, I really don't enjoy. Mounts are just weird to me. I don't particularly like it. It's like, what even is that? Like, what's going on? But hey, sure, I'll allow it. It doesn't really affect the combat. That's okay. Not an issue. But, why not save this and release it when you actually have something good in World vs. World? The thing is about World vs. World is that when you go in there as a new player from PvE, you're a story player, and then you join in, right? And then, oh no, the gameplay isn't fun, and then you leave as soon as you have the mount. Of course, a lot of people would leave as soon as they had the mount anyway, right? But still, I think that it really wasn't a massive issue, and yeah, it was, it should have been released a lot later, when they actually had the game more balanced and more fun, so people would have stuck. It got a huge amount of people playing World vs. World. I think I'd even say that obtaining it was a little bit too easy. What they should have done is they should have had it, if you don't have the mastery, you can rent one from an NPC, and then make it a bit trickier to get, so you've got to play more. Like, as it stands, the requirement is like almost nothing, right? It's like, you almost never get it, right? Because you get it immediately, right? All you've got to do is you have to, like, get a camp, like one of everything, right? Which is insanely easy to get. You have to do the reward track, which can take a bit of time, but if you're doing your dailies for PvP and World Wars, well, you just get that instantly as well. So it's really not much of a problem to get that, but I mean, oh well. There you go. And they put some like World vs. World bonuses in there, double World XP. Wow, insane. Yeah, but like from an optics view, this made World vs. World players very upset, myself included actually, because this was not for them. This was not a reward or an update for World vs. World players. This was an update for people who don't play World vs. World. And that really stings when the only update to your game mode isn't aimed at people who play the game mode. Not a good look, especially when you've got when you've got layoffs happening as well. Like, people really predicted this was just going to be like to try and milk money out of World vs. World players, which to a certain extent it is. Like, mounts are a monetization scheme from ArenaNet, but hey, that's how it goes. And another thing is that kind of actually makes sense. Like, just to play devil's advocate here, like, ArenaNet have to make money, right? They need to monetize players, and people don't really transfer that much, so they're not making a lot of money from that. And I think people in World vs. World typically don't buy as much on the gem store, right? Because they're more invested in more hardcore players. You do see a lot of people with outfits and gem store skins, but I think they wanted to try and monetize the game mode so they could maybe justify. I'm just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. They were like, oh yeah, you know, oh. If we can monetize it, maybe we can put some more developers on it. But I mean, well, maybe that's a little bit blue sky thinking, hey guys, who the hell knows? But yeah. Is what it is, right? But hey, guys, if you got no sub fee, this is how it happens. But yeah, it was a bit of the World vs. World update that nobody asked for, which is the issue around it, right? That's why it upset people so much. But, you know, it was a good idea just at the wrong time, is the way I see it. And then after the layoffs, we got a few updates, right? Because people were really, really panicking about some of this stuff. And they actually, you know, Arena did a good job here. They actually did respond to this, right? They did respond to this, and Mike Z wrote a post to the forums explaining the situation around Guild Wars 2. People were saying, oh, Guild Wars 2's dead, it's over, it's over, it's over. And here you go, right? Like, he said, oh, there were a lot of questions about the status of Guild Wars 2. I'd like to share with you a little about what's currently going on at the studio and what it means for the game. Guild Wars 2 is still committed to bringing content and feature updates to the game. The next episodes of The Living World are already in development. Swiss tournament... Swiss tournament support is coming to PvP. We're looking at more World vs. World events coming soon, and the return of the Super Adventure Festival is imminent. Our long-term plans for the game, like world restructuring alliances and large-scale improvements to the quality of life, are still in the works. See, that's true. Like, the large-scale improvements... See, we can look back on this letter with retrospect here. So, more World vs. World events. Let's talk about that. Yeah, there were more World vs. World events. They did the dual skill thing, where you could steal people's abilities. Like, you'd get a set for killing another person. Quite fun, actually. A little bit buggy. Quite fun. Swiss tournament support. We now know that it's probably going to come about a year after this message from Mike Z. Swiss tournaments in February 2017. Bear in mind, guys, okay, Ben was quoted, like, this was on the forums as well, and a really tragic screenshot of him saying that he'll be really sad if it gets pushed to 2008. Did he say 2019? No, didn't he say it was... I actually have this. I have it somewhere. Hang on. Where is it? Here we go. Oh no! Dude, this was in 2017. Oh my god. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh no! What a disaster. What a disaster. Swiss tournaments. 2017. What a meme, my friends. What a meme. But yeah, there you have it. Not ideal. So yeah, it's finally going to be happening in 2020 in the first quarter there. So that's going to be there. Super Adventure Festival did happen, but it didn't get improved. And, you know, I think they, at one point, they may have actually wanted to finish the Super Adventure Box World 3. Why would I say that? Well, I would say that because they've gone around updating every single festival, except Super Adventure Box, right? You might see some more rewards, maybe like a different skin, like a different color in Super Adventure Box, but I think you're never going to see an extra feature update like you do for the other festivals. And that's because Josh is now gone. It was kind of his side project. He more or less did that on his own, which is obviously, well, that's no longer possible, unfortunately. So yeah, not ideal. It's not, yeah, I want to make it clear, it's not Ben's fault that Swiss came out so late. It's not his fault by any stretch of the imagination. That's just development hell, right? Like, he's not a programmer. He can't just sit down and do it himself. He is just, you know, PvP leader, right? That's how it goes. Yeah. So, yeah. There you have it. Now, the studio's been recently affected by layoffs, which is gonna, yeah. We're going to take some time to prices. I would also say that, yeah, we got build templates, which is like quality of life stuff, right? Although, well, if you can call it that. There's no easy way for any team to adjust to that. We've had to say goodbye to friends and colleagues that we've worked alongside for years. We're welcoming back some familiar faces to the Guild Wars 2 team that have been working on unannounced projects. After all is said and done, it's going to take some time to adjust to our staffing changes. Yep, fair enough. As the proverbial dust settles in the next few days, we're going to have to reevaluate our schedules to make sure that our releases are realistic and allow us time to make sure they hit our internal quality bar. This means that some updates are going to see delays, like the recent Warclaw, as we regain our focus. I'd like to extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you who have reached out in support of our studio family. Thank you for your patience in this trying time. We're making every effort to keep things running as smoothly as possible and stay on track with the releases. Rest assured that ArenaNet is not done with Guild Wars, and the team is not done with our Tale of Dragons and our eternal conflict in the mists. There's still a lot for us to do together. We'll see you all in Tyria, Z, and the Guild Wars 2 team. See, like, that is actually what ArenaNet could have been doing for a long time. But the trouble is that Guild Wars 2 and ArenaNet didn't start communicating with the player base and explaining what was going on until this happened, right? Unbelievable, okay? Absolute clown fiesta, guys. Complete bloody fiesta at that company in terms of communication. They're a lot better now in 2019. Bear this in mind, guys. Like, the idea of getting a letter like this would never bloody happen under Mike O when Mike O'Brien was in charge. I don't know why. Like, Mike O'Brien's a super talented guy, right? He worked on WoW, right? He used to work for Blizzard. It was crazy. But, you know, it's it's good to see the changes that we now see in the future. We can look back on something like this. Very interesting to see the approach that ArenaNet has taken is very, very different right now. But yeah, let's move on. Let us move on. Then we actually got another post just the week after, actually, from Mike Z again. And it was a bit of a kind of roadmap, description of the studio, that kind of thing, right? And here we go. Over the past few weeks, most of our team has been focused on getting the next couple of releases ready, which will culminate in our Living World Season 4 finale. Now, this was, of course, in reference to Episode 6, right? War Eternal, and you know this actually came out about a month after. I think it came out in the kind of like middle of May or something like that, if I recall the exact date correctly. But yeah, they just kind of went over to talk about some of the things that happened within the studio. They were talking about the philosophy, you know, horizontal progression, build upon. Well, this is what kind of was really interesting about it. I think people really ripped into them for this, right? Okay, build upon previous designs. Like, this is something that ArenaNet has been very bad at, and I think we really do kind of see that in 2019. We see the almost like semi-abandonment of fractals and raids, potentially, because we don't see any of that. Like, well, there's no news about raids or fractals. It wasn't mentioned in the Icebridge saga or anything like that, right? So it's, I think, didn't they say raids were? Didn't they say raid? I think Mike Z said raid once in the Icebridge saga trailer. I'm not sure though. I can't exactly recall. But yeah, there you go. It was a bit of a funny one, but look, you could argue that strike missions that we have now are the influence of fractals and raids kind of coming together a little bit in a way in terms of difficulty. But I would really like to see iteration. I think they didn't iterate at all. Really, they kind of just like, ooh, they kind of just drop stuff, and that's one of the things that I think that really upset people. Right, their game mode effectively is left to die, which is not good. But then again, they're doing it with PvP, and they're doing it with World War Sword, and they're doing it with the story. Now, the story certainly is, I think the story is very much iterating, right? They've got Visions of the Past coming now, that new story mode about stuff in the past, a bit like fractals combined with story. And, you know, the story in general is a lot better executed. So they have built upon that design, but maybe not the best. I love this line here, strive for the fun. See, that's what I'm talking about, Mike Z. That's what I'm talking about. And then they gave us a little bit of an insight into the game, a little bit, not a crazy amount, right? Okay, they said no sub fee, but then again, like, that was never going to happen, right? Okay, and they have said that they've reorganized the teams, right? We've reorganized ourselves into fully 4-staffed content teams, with additional teams dedicated to supporting the core games like skills, balance, rewards, World vs. World, and PvP, right? So there's a World vs. World team, right? And there's PvP, but this is actually there's like a competitive team, right? Like these two together, like Guild Wars 2 competitive. And then you've got 4 content teams. So what's going on there? Now, the 4 content teams, like, it may just be that they have 3 living story teams now and 1 Visions of the Past team. So they have 3 teams working on episodes and then 1 team doing Visions of the Past or something like that, or maybe doing stuff with strikes, that sort of thing, like a utility team almost. So, yeah, we'll probably see the fruits of that later, actually. Like, in the new year is when you'll actually start to see the effects of this. So, let's hope for the best, right? You know, at the end of this this long story about Guild Wars 2 in 2019, we'll talk about the future as well a little bit. So, yeah, stay tuned for that, guys. Stay tuned. Ultimately, this will mean a relatively steady release of new content will allow us to continue telling the story of Tyrion in exciting new ways. And look back on this, like, this is not exactly the most reassuring thing in the world, is it? A steady release of new content? Like, well, I mean, that could mean anything. That could mean... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That is not good. There you go. And we didn't actually get a release date for episode 6 as well, but they do say about the new raid, and it will be coming after episode 6. So it's like, oh my god, people are starting to sweat a little bit here, and waiting for War Eternal. Oh boy, it was a bit of a, ooh. Oh, it took a little bit of a while, didn't it, guys? That was a bit of an ouchie. Taking its time for that, but you know, it was certainly worth it, especially that Skyscale collection. I love the Skyscale collection, man, so good. And then they also gave us some little kind of hints, right? They were legendary. They dropped, boom, legendary sigils, boom, ascended cooking. Ooh, look at that. That's big. Okay, build templates. Ooh, then we've got alliances mentioned here. And then Swiss tournaments, which April 2019. But quarter 1 2020, here we go, right? Here we go, my friends. So yeah, all of this stuff has kind of come true. We got 500 cooking, and 500 cooking, actually, I didn't try it for a long time because I was like, dude, I can't be bothered with that. It's really well implemented, actually. The foods are quite interesting. There's a lot of weird foods that you can use that are a bit funky. I'd love to see even more diversity and weird stuff. You know, because seeing as it's PvE and World vs. World only, it doesn't really matter, right? Let's have some more funky stuff. I think they actually made Ascended Food a little bit underpowered. It doesn't give you enough bonus magic, fine XP, and World vs. World XP and stuff like that. It should give you more than that. I think they kind of were very conservative with that. But the overall implementation with Ascended Food and the actual pre-quest was actually kind of cool. I think the pre-quest, like the pre-collection to get it, was yeah, sure. It was well done. They did Ascended Cooking very well, I think. And yeah, build templates, well, we'll get to that later. But well, that was one of the, that was an ouchie. Well, but we'll talk about that in a little bit, okay? And sigils, legendary armor I think was great. I think it made people like Doroya very happy, like the full completionist. I think people were very pleased with it. Overall, legendary sigils, legendary runes, but then build templates kind of messed that up pretty hard and really disenfranchised a lot of people. But on its own, the legendary rune sigil was fine. It was a little bit expensive, that they were very, very expensive to get all that set up, but hey, and it's legendary, right? That's what you gotta do. Gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah. There you go. And they also, I think people completely forgot about this, right? Okay, people forgot about this, right? Cooking 500, dual crafting 500 will be coming as well at some point. So I'm really curious to see. I would imagine this might extend into like special amulets that give you more bonuses, like in the same way that Ascended Cooking gives you more bonuses. Because I don't think they'll let you craft Ascended trinkets. That would just be superfluous because of the way they're rewarded, right? Or maybe they would. Maybe they would actually, like for 500 dual crafting, but. Yeah, so 500 dual crafting is coming here, and they're looking to fix World vs. World scoring as well. Quite interesting, if you ask me. Like so they are aware of these issues, and they want to get the job done, right? I like it. I like it a lot. And then also a festival for PvP in World vs. World. I mean, what could that even be? Really interesting idea there. I think this sort of thing could be good. Could be very, very good, actually, as well. Because PvP in World vs. World, I think, are probably your... If you're a Guild Wars 2 player, and you want to keep playing this game, like, regularly, every day, then PvP and World vs. World are your best hopes. Sustaining yourself on the drip of PvE content that comes into Guild Wars 2, it ain't gonna happen, right? It's gonna be a struggle to do that. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Good luck with that, boys. There you go. So that was it was almost a little bit of a roadmap here, in a way. So, you know, maybe we shouldn't have been so harsh. I guess it wasn't an absolute roadmap, and they make that very clear here, right? Understood these are all work in progress, the details can change between here and the final version. We don't have a timeline for release. But they actually told us, pretty much, exactly what was going to happen. Like this, all of this is coming true. I would imagine alliances will happen in 2020. I mean, I'd be pretty surprised if they didn't. It's been a while. And Swiss, we know, is coming in quarter 1. Like, this was kind of a roadmap. Maybe we were a bit harsh. We might have been a little bit harsh, guys. Maybe. But, yeah, there you have it. That was an interesting thing there. And then here we go. War Eternal arrived in about a month later, May 14th. And this was the finale of episode of the Living Story Season 4. This was it. And it actually scared people a little bit. They added an amazing legendary. Legendary or Exordium, one of my favorite legendaries. Like, very high effort. Loads of custom animations. Really cool. It shows you the potential of Guild Wars 2. The story was very competent, I think. Bit weird with the anthropomorphization of Kralkatorrik, but these things happen, guys. You know, we beat his ass, we blew up his heart, and a cool fight, actually. They love to they squeeze that value out of that Conjured Amalgamate model, and, you know, to be fair, why wouldn't you? It was cool. The story kind of made sense. I think it was very acceptable. We literally fly into Kralkatorrik and beat his ass down. We go around on this map. Map is fun, very Dragon Stand-esque, but end fight. I found the end fight on this map to actually be very underwhelming, because you attack, like, his boils, right? I mean, what? So maybe not the most exciting fight in the world, but sure, I'll allow it. And you know, funny enough, the map actually integrates into the story. You're assumed to have beaten the map in the context of the story, because he's like, oh yeah, he's hidden under crystal. We've got to find a way to break him out. He's healing himself, right? And yeah, overall, well done. And well, it would be remiss, sorry, to not talk about the Sky Scale here, okay? The Sky Scale. So Aurene is back, okay? She comes back to life, like, in the first 5 minutes of the story. And then we ride Aurene in quite an impressive spectacle, to be fair, actually. Quite an impressive spectacle. And break Kralkatorrik's leg off, right? Or wing off, and he crashes into the ground. We beat him down. Fun spectacle. It's very cool. We finally ride the dragon. Easy boys, right? And then we fly through the mists and force him out into Tyria there as well. But we traverse lots of weird places, like with the Melandria realm, Grent's realm, Balthazar's realm as well. Not Cormyr's library, shame about that, but hey, it happens. Right? You go through these Goroms and then blah, it all falls out. Very cool map. Very cool map idea, actually. Not looking so hot for that res talk. We actually really got debated, because this is something that I did. I went to London to go to EGX Resd, where it was Clayton and some of the narrative devs were doing a bit of a talk on the, writing meaningful character deaths in stories. I mean, what were they just trolling? I mean, they must have just been trolling us, because, of course, Aurene's death wasn't meaningful at all. In fact, narratively speaking, she comes back within, like 5 minutes of playing through the story. She isn't dead and just simply comes back, like Joko, her Joko juice resurrects her, which is not that impressive, but hey, there you go. Sometimes you get jebaited, and we got jebaited by EGX, and we did. But we had the Sky Scale, okay? We had the Sky Scale. And this was, on launch, actually even worse. But the collection was one of the most soul-crushing collections ever, I think, because it involved running around the map collecting things, then running around Tyria pressing F. It was a big press F collection here, actually. And I think there's like a pretty good clip of me reacting to this here. You can kind of just, you can just look at my, look, okay, look, ooh. So here we just like got all the 6 Sky Scales, I think. Oh no, all that stuff. So we ran around collecting them. I did this. This was actually quite fun. I will actually say this. This was quite enjoyable to do, because I did it with the boys. Every day we could do it because it was a bit time getting. We logged on with the crew. We were marking. Can you see the mini map here? We had marks set up on all the things so everyone could get them. It was a nice little team building activity. But you can kind of see people in the chat reacting to it. This guy says, "Fuck me, I'm out. What the fuck?" And then this is my reaction to seeing that after collecting like 18 Sky Scales, it's actually 21 eggs, okay? It is 21 eggs, and there is the clip, linked there in the chat. One of the most viewed clips on the channel, actually, but yeah, bit of a brutal one, I've got to say. I didn't really enjoy the collection that much, but hey, these things happen, I guess. Dude, that's weird. I have almost the exact same sub count in the clip as I do right now. But yeah, off we go. We go around collecting it. We get the job done. And eventually you got the Sky Scale. And this was a really interesting approach from ArenaNet, in my opinion, actually. Because think about it. Like, they want people to get the mount, okay, so they can sell mount skins. But I think that people were really driven away by the collection, right? You know, I think people were really, really driven away, and a rage quit because of it. Because it was time. It had a time gate with the sky with some of the literally like 3-day time gates or something. You could feed him. You can feed your little scars. You can feed her 3 times a day or something like that. You got to do that 4 days in a row, right? The collection was not. It was not a very good example of a good collection, right? There was almost no gameplay. It was all pressing F and running around in bloody circles on the map. There were some good parts of it, right? I don't want to be overly harsh, overly negative. No depressions to remember. Like, there were some perfectly good parts of it. And it did feel a bit... It was definitely almost like a prestige thing, right? You had to do all the living story. You needed to do all the maps, all the currencies. And it definitely was a time investment. But my issue was that it had no gameplay. There was some fair enough, quite interesting parts. Like, exploring the map for the first time was kind of cool, like finding everything. But when you have to do it like 3 times in a row, that's an oof, right? Like doing there's some like fun little games like the catch game, like the hide and seek game, right? Like going around the world doing the little challenges as well. That's kind of fun too. And finding like these special places, right? The sky scale roosts and then getting up to the locations there. Yeah, sure, that's kind of fun. I think that there were a few sections that were okay as well. Hang on, I'm trying to remember them. I want to be as fair as possible, so I'm gonna look up the sky scale achievement right now. Like, what was the juicy one? Oh yeah, there were some ones that required you to do some... Yeah, like the ones where you had to go and explore, like find all the different locations, that was kind of okay. Like, whether you had to do it out in the open, in the POF maps, that's fair enough. But going around the same map 3 times in a row was not good at all. Look, I want to familiarize myself with the collection, because I really don't remember it that well, at all actually. But yeah, oh no, I recall that some of it wasn't actually that bad. Okay, not all of it was really annoying. Some of it was pretty okay and pretty fun, pretty cool meme. Okay, but some of it was horrible, and I'm traumatized even now, right? Like, that was when I found out I was too casual for Guild Wars 2, and I was broken. You know, the game broke me, guys, and it doesn't feel good. It actually feels bad. You know, it really does. It really does feel pretty fucking bad. But yeah, there you go. Some of it was good. Some of it was not so good. But overall, ooh, what do I think of the mount overall? I'm not sure. I mean, it handles really well, and it's a cool mount, right? And it's really great. But I do find it's a little bit overpowered, right? It allows you to go everywhere, right? Which is not ideal, right? It is a little bit on the strong side, and I suppose that's why people didn't want you to do it, right? They didn't want you to do it too much. Why ArenaNet didn't want you to do it, and not too many people to do it, so they could keep it as almost like an exclusive thing, a bit of a swag thing to have. But fair enough. They cut into their own monetization because of that. Oh yeah, dude, yeah, the dwarven shit. You had to do like all the dwarven puzzles. That was actually really great. Like, because I didn't even know that existed. Right, that was really cool to go and do like the dwarf minigame. That was a nice piece of content. That was kind of fun to do the dwarf minigame. That was I like I wish there were more mini dungeons in the game like that, because they're actually really interesting. Even better if they were actually like fun to do repeatable. But with a puzzle like that, it's typically only worth doing once, right? Because then you know the solution, right? Like, figuring out the solution is the point of it. After you've done it, then it's over. Didn't use a portal for that. Only for one section of it, because like I think it was like some kind of weird time gate meme. So I just cheated past half of it, like the last section. I think there was something that I couldn't do or something like that for a while. So I don't know. It was just weird. But I don't know. I don't remember exactly how it went down. But yeah, there you go. The sky scale, it's in the game. I didn't remember it because I'm not really into mounts. That's why it's not really a bad sign if I didn't remember it. I'm never that into mounts in general. But yeah, like War Eternal was overall a good episode. The map was really good. Dragonfall, it was a really, really interesting map with different biomes. Good meta event, solid meta event kind of meme. It was a bit fun. Now one of the best farms in the game, right? Like they made it deliberately very rewarding to give people a farmable map. I think people still farm it even now. Really, really juicy. But yeah, they should have cut out the press F stuff, right? There was too much pressing F there, man. Feels bad, man. They should have made it maybe a bit more like the Beetle quest. Like the Beetle quest is a bit more active, a bit more involved with gameplay. The Griffin as well to a certain extent, but the Griffin had a lot of searching around. Oh my goodness, that one was a bit of an annoying meme. But yeah, there you go. It was fun, and then we got the ending cutscene right here as well. And let's just have a look at the first one here. This actually kind of, I think this made people sweat a little bit. Seriously. I think this actually made people sweat. So this is where we, no, this is the first one where you knock him into the, oh, look, ah! Very cool, by the way. They really stepped up their cutscene game in Living Story Season 4. You have the Joko cutscene, you've got this one, which is really, really cool. Right, he's falling in, ah! The islands kind of, the islands trap him. It's like, oh, yeah. Very cool, right? Yeah. Very, very nice then. You can go watch that. And then the ending cutscene for the story is this thing, right? Okay. I think this is the ending one anyway. Is this the ending? Yeah, this is the ending one. Here we go. Boom. Like, you know, it's, oh, wow. Very, very cool. And there's your character witnessing Aurene kind of ascend. Like you see, you have some kind of like the history. You have like a bit of a mental moment here. You can see the ground there is from Tyria there. A lot of the Tyria architecture here. But our time interacting with this with the dragon, with Aurene as a mere mortal is about to be over. And I'll explain why this kind of rustled people a little bit when we see the ending, actually. But yeah, it was a really, really cool cutscene. We actually see almost like a Guild Wars 1 throwback here as Aurene kind of transforms, kind of metamorphosizes into a very glint-like crystalline form here. And then we look at that. Whoa, everyone's like, whoa, dude, this is crazy. This is insane. Again, a very well done cutscene. Kaith is blue now. She's been branded. I mean, that's, you know, Sylvari. What is the nature of Sylvari going on there? Some interesting lore here. And then, boom! Off she goes into the stars. Whoa. Very anime, you know, like, oh, yeah, whoa, insane. New Elder Dragon on the horizon. She's a bit of a youngling now, but, you know, she'll get old eventually. There you go. Whoa. And why did this scare people? Because, guys, tell me that this doesn't look like the end, right? I was expecting the end. Like, and they lived happily. I mean, let's even the music, right? And then it pans up to the sky, right? What? Ooh. And then roll credits, right? Then you expect, yeah. Oh, oops, that's Guild Wars 2, right? But seriously, do you guys not expect roll credits at that point? It rustled people because it felt very final, right? It's not a cliffhanger at all. And I'll tell you what, I was very wrong. I was actually expecting like a teaser for an expansion or for the next season after this, but it was just the end, right? It was just, it's over. And that made people panic a little bit because like, oh damn, like, are they going to do something different? Are they doing something else? Now, of course, we did know that they were refocused on Guild Wars 2, but we knew that they weren't for a while. So it almost seemed like if they hadn't had the troubles they had in 2019, that they would have just cut it here, right? It's like, whoa, what the hell? Oh, man, right? And yeah, as Mike says here, right, like JP was, well, I mean, you know, she might be a bit of a, you know, questionable person, but yeah, she was tweeting out some quite interesting insights about the story and this, that they didn't really know if there was going to be Season 5 when they were developing a lot of Season 4, right, which is kind of scary if you think about it, but yeah, it explains a lot with this. It explains a lot of how this actually went down, so there you go. But people were justifiably worried. I think I was a little bit worried. It was like, dude, they were going to drop Guild Wars 2 like a rock, right? Except they ended up refocusing on the game. Like, there's like, yeah, roll credits. Now, I will say this here. Now, it does make sense in a way that seasons are compact because they sell them in like little bundles. So it kind of makes sense that everything has like an end in a way. But this was very final, I think. Worryingly final. Like, really worryingly final. As well for Guild Wars 2, but it wasn't. Now the refocusing has happened, and there you have it. I'm not doing daily AT, Misha. I'm not doing daily AT, man. I got to do my story time. I'm doing story time, dude. I'm sorry, Misha. I'm sorry. Unless I can AFK, then I can come, but I cannot. But yeah, there you have it. So that is the conclusion of Living Story, Season 4, Episode 6, War Eternal. So what was after that? Does anyone remember what was after that? Anyone remember, guys? Plot twist, I already told you. Okay? I already told you. But, yeah. It was Wing 7. That's right. It was Wing 7. Meet the Key of Adashim. And ArenaNet have a history of making some pretty questionable raid trailers. And, yeah. This, yeah, exactly that, right? Here we go. I mean, what is this trailer, boys? What is this? What? Look at that. Not their finest work, I think it's safe to say. They've got a nice camera tool here, though. You know, I mean, ooh, I could have done with that. This is meter.dll right here, boys. And yes, as Mike Z promised, just a little while after, in June, start of June, we had the release of the Key of Adashim, which is the conclusion of the Kadim saga, and our current latest raid wing. So it hasn't actually been that long, of course, June being the, you know, it's, you know, halfway through the year, and so it's only been, like, you know, about half a year since the Key of Adashim has actually been released. It feels like longer, doesn't it? It really does feel like longer. I think particularly because Wing 7 was maybe a little bit less active than some of the other wings, but there you go. It came out with some skins, as usual. Raid is out, June 11th, boom, 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 easy games. They even had this little world boss event, because of course they were also doing this new thing where they wanted to have like something interesting coming out every single month. So if it's an event, if it's a festival, it's a raid, it's a story, right? They just boom, 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 keep it out, go, 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 right? And yeah, the cutscene there is a little bit on the weird side. I'm not going to pretend it isn't, guys. There's a lot of like Kadim wiggling around, not really telling us exactly what's going on there, but okay, this is going to be a bit of a hot take, guys, but I actually thought Wing 7 was not that bad. I actually thought Wing 7 was a pretty good wing, mechanically, quite interesting as well. Its progression was one of the shortest progressions ever. It kind of got melted in 2 hours. And even CMs, I think CMs were done within 4, so it really didn't last very long, unfortunately. But, I mean, yeah, there you go. I think the raid, the only boss that felt underdeveloped to me was actually Kadim. I think Kadim was missing a mechanic. In particular, I think Kadim CM was missing a mechanic, right? But actually, Sabir and Adina, I think were really well designed. Really well designed fights. The CM of Sabir was definitely lacking. It doesn't really do much. It's not punishing enough. They should have just made Sabir CM no downstate. I actually think they should have 100% done that. Like, that would have been really interesting. Like, that would have been hard. That would have been punishing. Well, as we know now, guys, right? But so on Sabir CM, you res slower. Right, you get like a little lightning cage around you, and you res slower. And Adina CM is perfect, right? You just whenever a pillar gets destroyed, it leaves a little hole. Hilarious, so fucking good, dude. Oh my god, amazing, so good, actually insane. And Sabir and Kadim CM is okay. It's an amazing spectacle, but the mechanic. The 40%, 30%, 20% mechanic you've all got to run there, and the tornadoes around the edge and it getting hit. They added a lot of mechanics with like the fire if you get hit by the Skyhammer attack, the tornadoes that insta-kill you, and the weird Mega Kadim. Like, that's a good mechanic, but it doesn't quite do enough, right? It doesn't do enough, I think. I think they need an extra mechanic. I think they wanted to make Mega Kadim be more relevant in the fight, but they didn't quite have the time to finish it. So I think Wing 7 maybe got rushed out a little bit overall, and it was a bit... and it was definitely undertuned. Now, on a positive note, though, of course... I liked the raid. It was fun. I really liked the design of the bosses. Like, Adina was very well designed, in my opinion. Sabir, too. Sabir is properly frenzied, high energy, really fast tempo, high tempo fight. Kadim, too, is like, can take him or leave him. I don't really like the forced, dedicated Kaita rolls. Not really a big fan of that, but hey, it happens, right? I think it limits your options very heavily on what classes you can really pick there. But hey, that's just how it goes. But... you know what it meant, guys? It meant that the ERP, the elitist raiding party, was fully under development at that point. And that, I think, is pretty damn exciting indeed. And, yeah, that's actually, funnily enough, pretty much the next thing that happened for Guild Wars 2. in that, in that sense, anyway, because like the earliest raiding party was in August. This was in June. Nothing really happened with Guild Wars 2 until then. Really, there was a bit of a break until we got the Bound Blood, the announcement, stuff like that. WoW Classic happened there as well. After the ERP, so that was kind of the next thing that happened there. And here we go. Like, here is one of the ERP is still the favorite and best thing I have ever done in Guild Wars 2. Okay, it started such a long time ago, man. Me and Brazil were just having a conversation after a tea time, and I say to Brazil, dude, let's do a raid tournament. Let's fucking do a raid tournament. And he says, you know what? I think that you and I are the only people who could pull that off. Let's go. And that's when we started getting the balls rolling for ERP1. All those long time ago. Like back in the day, we were using streams. My internet was insanely scuffed. Everything was scuffed. We had QT and SC playing. And here we arrived in 2019 with the ultimate Guild Wars 2 competitive event. The most viewed Guild Wars 2 competitive event. The best produced Guild Wars 2 competitive event. And, of course, the best trailer that has ever been made for the game. Okay, it's the ERP3 trailer that you're watching right now. Community-driven, 300k gold, $5,000, 40k gems or something like that. And a massive community effort coming together and making something incredible. We see the art by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ipos, who is with us today, actually. Yeah, a few little meme jabs in there to the people who rage quit. Because, of course, this was actually the time... this was the time when a lot of people were actually leaving for Final Fantasy, right? They were moving away to other games. Of course, like me, myself, I was taking a break going over to Classic as well later on there. Okay, but yeah, that was quite the meme. I'm actually going to mute this. This is too sad. But I really, while I'm talking about this, guys, I really want to make it clear just how many people helped me with this and how much of a community-driven effort this really was, actually, guys. So this is the credits video. No one ever watches my credits, by the way. I've got what the hell, guys? 1.2k views? Seriously, what the bloody hell is that? Oh, I'm disconnected from the game as well. Unfortunate. But yeah, I look at this, watch all the people who played this, and seriously, know that they are legendary gamers, guys. Everyone helped with this. Like, it was amazing. Like, actually having the ability, okay, to put this on, it was my honor, right? It really was my pleasure at the end of the day, guys. It was an amazing experience to run it, okay? And to watch and to see how well received it was. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, guys. Truly unbelievable. And I'm so grateful to everyone who tuned in, everyone who promoted the event, and all the memes that were going on there at the same time, right? Heard you're shilling up the tournament, notice capitals. So just to say to the people at the party, I got an emergency and bailed. I let a no party, Phil's losing new man. Oh no. I see. But yeah, absolutely incredible. Like a truly legendary event in Guild Wars 2. And I don't even want to go into the stuff. There was a little bit of drama, right? Like that it wasn't supported by ArenaNet, but let's not talk about it. I get it, right? It was using a hack. It was necessary to use the hack, but look, fine. I'm not salty at ArenaNet for that at all. I don't think it really changed the outcome of how the event went that well much either. It was a symbolic thing. So, fair enough, right? And you know what? For what it's worth, guys, actually, I did actually talk to... I mean, look, some developers did tell me that they really liked it, right? And that it was a very valuable thing for the game. But I think ERP3, in a way, it was tinged with sadness because anyone who was in tune with the raid scene... While they were watching it, they were probably very much intensely aware that it probably wouldn't happen again. Yeah, ERP3 was very final, right? It was very final. And obviously, I did hand that up a little bit with the music. I take some responsibility there. I did, but with good reason, I think. That there was a big finality to it for me. I knew that ERP4 probably couldn't happen. Right, was very unlikely to actually happen, ERP4. because the raid scene simply wasn't very competitive even then. I had to kind of really strong arm people into playing, and there aren't enough guilds anymore. It would be like a 1v1 at this point, right? It would be a 1v1 show match, which, that could work. That could certainly work. But, well, maybe we'll have that going down sometime as well. But yeah, it was a sad thing. It was a sad thing. It really was. Because we were going to go play WoW Classic. We stopped playing Guild Wars 2, and I think ERP kind of gave people permission to quit. Okay, it really did. They were like, okay, ERP's done. We can go start playing Final Fantasy right now. We're going to go play Final Fantasy instead of Guild Wars 2. And a lot of people did that. They moved to other games after ERP 3. And I think, you know what? I'm very proud of this tournament, guys, okay? Like, whenever I see this stuff, it does make me, yeah, not bad, Teapot, right? I was very, very happy about that, and how that went. I mean, look at all these people. Look at this shit. Look at it. Look how many people helped out with this tournament, guys. And look at the gold. Just take a look at how many people actually contributed to the donations here. Look at all these names. And look at that gold video. The credits video here was summoned by Mike as well, which is a really, really cool thing there. Mike really helped me out with this, like to make a really nice, clean video, and he's going to help me out with the PvP tournament as well. That will be coming soon in 2020. And like a big reason of why I even wanted to do the PvP tournament was because I am really addicted to running events like this. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do. This is my favorite stream. Streaming just a game, after just streaming just Classic WoW or just Guild Wars 2, after the ERP, it just felt nothing, right? You know what I mean? It just felt so, so low effort, so low energy compared to this. It was absolutely insane, and that's why I'm really looking forward to doing the PvP tournament, right? Like, I know I'm not as into Guild Wars 2 as I was like previously, and it won't be like painful. Like the ERP was a bit painful in a way, like emotionally speaking, right? But even so, I am really excited to run that tournament. I'm excited to get that going, bring some serious energy there, and get a serious event, even better than the ERP. We are going further in 2020. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But ERP, the Master of the Arena tournament, is going to be bigger and better than ERP 3. I'm going to do something truly incredible, I hope, that you guys are going to love. Because I can't help it. I love it, man. I love events. That's my passion, is running these events for you guys, making stuff for the community that the community enjoys. And I really hope you guys enjoyed the show for ERP, because trust me, okay, I might have been sweating a little bit, okay, like, damn, dude, like, the day before, I could not fucking sleep at all. I was just wired, right? I was like, Aah! Right? Mana was trying to calm me down. Everyone's trying to calm me down. I was just going crazy, man. I absolutely going crazy. It was a fun one. It was a fun one, 100%. But there you go. And I hope a lot of people will tune in. I know it's PvP, and I think maybe less people might be interested in watching that. But you know what? I think PvP is fucking hype, dude. Okay? PvP is hype, and we're going to go bigger. Right? We're going to go bigger. I would even go as far to say that Master of the Arena will be Omega Pog, right? Okay, if such an emote exists, that's what I think it will be, guys. I actually do think it will be Omega Pog. That's for sure. Imagine the viewership of UTs leaking meter.dll. Yeah, I love just the complexity. Seriously. I'm not even sure how if people really realize like how much went into this. There were like thousands of lines of code that were running behind the tournament. There were like multiple people working on stuff. We had artists. We had literally people observing with capture cards. Where's my capture card? Well, it's in my machine actually, but where's the other one? I have a capture. There's one lying around here somewhere. Might be on the floor. Oh no, but yeah, like, it was crazy. There was like really long ass cables all over the place. It was intense, dude. It was intense. But we'll see. I watched the finals, but right, just PvP looks like Clown Fiesta. Something about people doing really good execution raids, really interesting. Well, I will give it a try, Dark Eagle, because right, okay, I have got some ideas to make it really nice and viewable. I think PvP is very elegant when people are playing it well. Maybe less so now, but I'll do my best. Okay, I will do my But yeah, 323,000 gold, guys. Absolutely insane. Completely fucking ridiculous. But yeah, like so many people like Jerna and Magical Mike editing shit for me as well. All the ArenaNet partners. Look at all these ArenaNet partners who got donated gems to the cause there as well. All the helpers that you saw right at the start there. Guild Wars, look at that. Peepo hug there as well with the Guild Wars 2 community. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah. Some big fucking value there. And of course, like Ben B really worked hard to sort me out. I won't go into details there, but we were actually trying to get a no downstate event, so it was actually going to be no downstate. And I will say this, like Ben put his neck on the line for me, and it did actually end up not that good. You can kind of infer what actually happened there. But yeah, Ben really tried to sort me out. I'm very grateful to Ben. And I hope he really likes the PvP tournament. I hope he really, really likes the PvP tournament because, in a way, the PvP tournament is definitely dedicated to Mr. Ben P from Arena. And I mean, what an ending, guys! Congratulations to Lucky News once again. You got to hand it to them, right? They played so well, right? They're absolutely god gamers, right? But let's just remind ourselves of how they got there. How did they get there again, guys? Should we just take a look at how they actually got there? Yeah, here we go. So let's just turn that up a little bit and just embrace it.
There's 10. Can they do it?
Oh
it's a
my
race
god.
To the finish.
There's an add up for ST. Who's gonna get this? God. I can't call it. I'm gonna have to. What the fuck's gonna? LN. There's fire from LN though. Fire. Who's gonna? No, ST. I don't believe it.
Oh my god.
No way.
LN are gonna overtake them. There's no way they can.
Oh man.
Oh my.
Look at that. It cannot be. LN is gonna take it. ST is wiping. I'm ready on the timer. LN wins ERP3.
Oh
my god. No. And ST
the bus. Just
6 seconds.
LN.
6 seconds after LN. Yeah. That is insane. Absolutely insane. Pure insanity there. I mean, I promise you guys, it wasn't actually scripted, okay? It wasn't scripted, but it looked like it, didn't it? We did a pretty good job of pretending it was bloody scripted, didn't we, lads? Right? That was insanity, right? It was complete insanity. I think it was about 6 seconds, 6 or 7 seconds in it. And hey, Cran, can you sort me out, yeah? Like, you know how we talked about scripting the Master of the Arena? We're gonna, you know, like the finals, making sure it goes to all the games. Yeah, you got me, right? Yeah, nice. Okay, fantastic. Okay, yeah, cheers, Cran. That's really good, yeah. Well, look, it's gonna be just as good in PvP, man. Get ready for that hype. Get ready for the energy. But yeah, really, really amazing event. Awesome event. And I'll do an even better job with the PvP one. I give you my word of that, but yeah, I mean, some of these memories, man, for ERP was absolutely fantastic. One of the best, probably the most enjoyable experience in my entire life. Not just streaming, actually. Not just 2019. I think ERP3 is probably the thing I'm most proud of in all of my existence, actually. So 2019 for me has been an amazing year. Like, it hasn't been an amazing year for Guild Wars 2, but just for me, as a streamer, as a content creator, like, as a player, as a human. Right? I've had an amazing year in terms of all of that. And obviously, I'm very grateful to all of you guys, right? For being there with me through the ups and the downs, right? Through WoW Classic, through Guild Wars 2, through the snooze fest, right? Of like the content droughts and the bad times as well. So, yeah, I really appreciate that. But damn, it's been an amazing year indeed. And you know, Elitist Raiding Party was just... It was just incredible, you know. It really was, and like the Reddit was on fire about it, right? Like, well, look, guys, we're on the front page. Oh, do you guys remember this? Look, there we are. Look, Counter-Strike out there with 260k, League on 150, but there's Guild Wars 2, boys, right? We're behind Smash, right? And our poker's got us beat by a little bit, but I'll tell you what, guys, we actually beat poker in the end. Okay, so we win. We win there as well. These are not the best screenshots, actually, in the world. I couldn't find any good ones. You can't see. You can't... No, that was actually the unedited screenshot, guys. It's kind of weird. Oh, wait, hang on. Does it not show you properly? Oh, yeah. Okay, no mind. It's, well, ignore that shit. But look, there's us. Whoa, 12.4k viewers. Absolutely insane. Of course, it did actually go up there a little bit more, right? It went up to a total of 17,000 viewers is where it went. Like, we actually made 17,000 viewers, which, by the way, I just want to make this doubly clear. That was the most viewed Guild Wars 2 competitive event of all time. Right? That's more than Pro League. The only stuff that's beaten that is official Guild Wars 2 expansion release streams. So the Icebrood Saga, HOT launch, and POF launch defeated the tournament, but nothing else has actually done that for Guild Wars 2. So it's the most viewed unofficial stream. Yeah. How much did the ESL have? I think the most viewers that the Pro League stuff had, the World Tournament Series, was about 13k. I think something like that. I remember it, yeah. So I think it was like 13, 14k with the ESL. And we're going to beat that down with the PvP tournament. Masters of the Arena. Here we go. Let's go. Easy 15k viewers, 20k viewers, 30k viewers, a million k viewers. High energy boys. Let's go. So I'm ready for that. But yeah, Elitist Raiding Party. It's fucking good shit, dude. Okay? That was insane. Yeah, a million k. Dude, I actually forgot to have the Zach video. Let me. Do you guys want the Zach video as well? I can find it. You guys want the Zach video, but we can't watch all of it. We can't watch all of it. That's the thing, right? But we can watch it and listen to the song, right? While we're talking about some of this stuff, right? Yeah, bring it on. There's a yeah. No! You're not having my Prime sub, Zach. You're absolutely not having that shit.
Hello and welcome to MightyTeapot, a history in memes.
And I will turn that down and I'll just explain what this is. So this was a documentary style video where where Zach went through and interviewed a lot of content creators. He got all of the memes. He called me fucking B- as usual, okay? And just made an amazing video. And like, this sort of thing this is shortly after, around the ERP. It was on the last day before Classic, actually, is when this came out. But like, it was very, yeah, I mean, look at that, dude, okay? Yeah. These memes, dude. These are good memes, man. These are the good memes. But he just goes through a lot of the memes of the stream, and this was like a real. It was very flattering, right? It was very, very honoring, right? It was like, wow. It was really. I really like this sort of thing, man. Like, it's very humbling when people do this. You know what I mean? Because like, dude, I'm just some like random guy on the internet, right? Someone like Zach really tried out of this. A lot of people were in on this. Like, talked to Winner Potatoes, like all the content creators, right? Like, everyone was in on this stuff, right? Like, B- got madder. Like, Roy is here as well. Dude, this is actually worth this. This is funny, actually. This is quite funny. It's very funny, actually. But yeah, here you go.
Let's just have a listen, shall we?
Let's have a listen.
That's my boy right there. Go sub now for free with Twitch Prime. It's amazing. I can't believe it.
Who's that? I've never heard that name.
Trash gameplay, trash bathrobe, trash memes. Nothing more to say.
A sellout and a scam sucking ArenaNet's balls. Fuck that guy.
He's a fucking papega, I tell you.
Alright, just to be clear, I am getting paid for this, right?
MightyTeapot is so hot.
Wait, is that the guy who comes on my channel and shits on my amazing builds?
He was always crying about easy mode and accessibility, so I punched him in the neck.
What the fuck? Is that a slowbling? He looks like a 13-year-old shaved worm.
He keeps calling me Master Plenix and saying something about owing me his life.
Look at that. That's old Plenga. Look at that.
Oh, you mean that British bloke?
Dude, this is so good. Oh my god, this caption is so underrated, dude. Oh my god. Like, no one has. I guess not a lot. I guess if you don't know the context, I guess it doesn't mean anything. But like, the fact that Deroya is here as a feminist is like. So. Of course, that wasn't in 2019, right? That happened the year before. But Deroya got into a bit of a scuffle with Jessica Price from ArenaNet, and basically she accused him of like what of being, you know, a gamer dude bro, right? Telling women how to do their jobs, right? But he was having a conversation. But yeah, that's funny.
With the dirty bathrobe.
Yes, we have a past in Caudicus Manor.
No,
but I do not wish to talk about that.
Shut that down.
Every single stream is just hard depression. He makes me want to kill myself.
Whoa!
Heal Necro? Really?
To be honest, I'm just jealous. I mean, like, he's got the subs, he's got the fame, he's the real deal, right? And the rope, right? The man is the rope. Who wouldn't want to be him?
He once told me he was pro easy mode in raids. Haven't talked to him since.
Oh, it seems that MightyTeapot was a pretty controversial character.
This guy really, this video is absolutely fantastic. Like, go and watch it right now. Seriously, yeah, just go and watch it right there now. There it is. Well, maybe not right now because we're still telling the story, but yeah, like this was a video because like after the ERP was very final, we were gonna go play WoW Classic, and yeah, I actually logged out of Guild Wars 2 for like over a month straight, like nearly like 2 or 3 months actually, or I didn't really play the game for a long period of time at all actually, which is pretty weird. There you go. Turned out WoW Classic wasn't quite as good as I thought, as I was hoping anyway. Turns out Guild Wars 2 is a really good game, and well, you know, I wasn't exactly surprised by that. I just, I didn't really get the community reignition in WoW Classic, but yeah, who cares about that, right? This was a fun video, and very, very touching. It was very moving, that someone would do this. Like, look, okay, I'm going to sound like a bit of a wuss here, boys, right? No, I'm not. No, this is a very manly thing. Whenever you guys send me, like, a nice message, I'll fucking keep all that shit, dude. Okay, right? I have a bunch of screenshots on my computer with all like the nice messages that people send to me. Okay, because like, dude, feels good, man. Right? You know, it's very, very sweet when people do that sort of thing. Unmute. Yeah, I'm gonna unmute the video. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for this? You are not allowed to join any raid. Yeah,
respect.
This is a good remix. Actually,
let's tune into an old VOD of his.
An old VOD. Here we go.
Calm and caring man.
Look who it is. Sokos is here. You are not allowed to join any raids. Fix it. Fix it. Do not join. Don't even join training raids. Fix it. Sokos. Fix it. Sokos. Fix it. Sokos. Do not ever join again. I'm gonna kill your family. I'm gonna kill your family. How many weeks I've been telling Sokos to fix this? Why is the damage so bad? Sokos. Fix it. Sokos. Fix it. Sokos. You're an idiot. Sokos. What the fuck? You're an idiot. Fix it. Sokos. What the fuck? You're an idiot. Fix it. Do not ever join again. Yeah, ooh. 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 What the fuck? I'm exposed. Oh wait, now Sokos gets called here. He actually gets called.
Yo, Sokos. I just saw that Teapot clip. You know, with you and him. I don't know, man. Are you okay?
Yes, he did beat me to death.
Yeah. You want to talk about it or something?
I love the beatings.
Wait, what?
I need the beatings.
Wait, what the fuck are you talking about?
I am hot garbage.
No, man, you're fine. Don't talk like that.
I'm getting heart stuck on the golem every day.
Heart stuck? What's that even mean?
I love the beatings.
Hey, man, I just wanted to help you, alright? If you ever need anything, then... No, I'm not doing this again, Sokos. No, I'm out of here. World's first Salvation Pass.
Yeah,
World's
that's true.
First and only Kadim CL.
That's also true.
Mystic builds.
Ooh.
The Minstrel Chronomancer.
Yep.
The Healing Scourge.
Yeah.
The Taking of the Furnace.
Oh no! Dude, like, I don't... You know what's really sad about the Taking of the Furnace? Actually, wait, where is it?
Scourge.
Yeah.
The Taking.
About all the Furnace Taken memes is they all got deleted, right? They're all gone. There was, I'll recall this story now. This is also in 2019, so it counts. Like, before the ERP, everyone was mad. Okay, Mada got triggered because they weren't padding the tournament, right? Okay, so she became enraged. She became very angry. And started going crazy. And then, I think, wait, is Deltax Hunter here? Because it was you. You did this, Deltax. Where are you? I don't know if you're here or not, but it was him. So... The Furnace Taken me. I don't know exactly who started it, but Deltax and Mada were very important in it. And then, of course, Furnace taken is, of course, an anagram of fuck ArenaNet, right? And people were mad at the game. There was anger. There was fury. Okay? And then one day, Kevin and Frosty, their chromosomes activated in perfect unison, and they started attacking the Reddit. Okay? And assaulting it with, like, borderline troll posts that would usually tell a kind of story, but then in, like, the last line would say... And then I took the furnace, right? Or talking about the lore, like Sorrow's furnace lore, and making fun of it and turning it into, like, kind of sneaking in Furnace Taken, right? Into these Reddit posts, okay? And then the Reddit raid was very good, right? And eventually the mods caught on and started banning everything and shutting it down, right? And Deltax Hunter posted this picture of Michael from Vsauce to the subreddit, and it just said something like, "They can't stop us all, Furnace Taken," right? And it stuck, right? This was made into a emote, and there you go. It just started spamming. There was stuff going crazy all over the place. People were like leaking, you know, posting images like the taking of the furnace, like history, like it's history in Guild Wars 2. Look, all these little peepos going in there. The Reddit got triggered. It actually got to the point, guys. It got to the point where someone made a post on the Reddit, okay, and the post just said, "Is Furnace Taken some kind of end game greeting in Guild Wars 2?" Okay? Just think about that. We were using it so much in the game that some random guy in Fractals thought it was like a term in the game and posted to the Reddit and asked the community what it was. That's how big Furnace... I don't think people forget Furnace Taken. It was massive. It actually was. It was huge. It was really, really big. He said that I joined a Fractal group, and then one player said Furnace Taken randomly, and then 2 other players also said Furnace Taken, and he assumed it was some kind of greeting. Yeah. It was insane. And this all culminates in a song like I'm Forced to Do Rex, and it culminates in a very, very, quite an amusing song, which you can listen to
Guild
right
Wars
now, I
2
guess, actually.
streamer.
Alright. What does he say at the end?
And subscribe to I Am One and I'm Legion on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let us now join in song
Join
to
in
praise
song.
and honor this B- Guild Wars 2 streamer.
There you go. High energy, boys. It's an accurate song. It is.
Let's get on stream, my friends in chat.
Just enjoy, my friends. Enjoy.
Always on time. He's never late. His timing's great. It's MightyTeapot. TeaTime ATs or Doom CM. The fun never ends. It's MightyTeapot. So PMA. He'd never flame, expose or blame. It's MightyTeapot. He's not delusional, not even toxic. He's the only tea I want in my cup.
Yeah, she gets him, boys.
High energy and always fresh on stream. Trying to carry all the casual trash.
I want to see some Pepe jams in the chat, boys.
Trying to carry every people and every leash. You there, he is always there.
Yeah, and that was by Zach, who was an incredibly talented guy, by the way. And that was actually the last thing he ever did. He was like, that was the last thing he did with Guild 2. Like him helping me with the ERP. He helped me with the music, the Toxic remix. It's a slight Toxic meme. It was we played with the song to make it fit the length of the trailer, right? But yeah, there you go, right? It was Zach is a super talented guy, and he doesn't really do anything anymore with the game, unfortunately. But that is how it goes. And there you go, guys. We're kind of about halfway through. And actually, we're not halfway through. We're kind of more than halfway through. Actually, all this stuff, all the history of the game in 2019. So we're going to take a brief interlude. So where was I? Oh, yeah, here we are. Here we are. We were on this, weren't we? And yeah, that's exactly. I didn't turn the crackling down a little bit, but yeah, here we are. We are on the Icebrood Saga announce trailer. Ooh. Ooh. Exciting stuff.
Outliving the ones you swore to protect.
Ah.
You fear the day your children no longer feel the chill of the
you skipped over the oppression of the frogs. Wait, I mean, look, we can talk about that after this. Fine. But this was actually a really good trailer. Okay, and look at this. I love the styling on this, right? Like that very painterly style, right? Really, really like it. And it's extremely well done. It really is this in the art style of Guild Wars 2, right? Fucking fantastic, dude. Okay, really nice. The voice acting is on point. The animation is great. It is very mysterious, very epic. It looks like something that you would actually get hyped about with the MMO. Seriously, right? Seriously, man. Let's get hyped for the Icebrood Saga. Oh. Join us. Join us.
I can set you free. Join me, and you shall have the strength to protect your people in the trials to come. Stand against me, and you stand alone.
Boom! The Icebrood Saga. They renamed Living Story to make it sound exciting. Let's not pretend there, guys. I'm not going to pretend that shit at all. But yeah, that was actually really, really cool announcement. And it's a real shame that they didn't really follow this up with anything. There was one particular moment in the announcement. This was part of a live announcement trailer. One part of this really stood out, and that was actually this part. Let's have a good listen to this, guys. You know, that's what
stuff for this?
Absolutely. So we actually have a new armor set coming soon.
From the back of the room, the one PvP fan, we got him.
Yeah, I'm getting that new armor set. Also, Z mentioned Swiss.
So the announcement itself was a bit weird. Okay, it was a bit of a weird one. So there was actually a really cool graphic. This whole background here, there was like the drag, it was slowly revealing itself to basically show this, right? Like it slowly got revealed, like the snow kind of dissipated over a 48-hour countdown, right? Which was really, really cool. And then they completely flubbed it. Okay, they brought out Mike Z. And by the way, guys, I don't want to see any fucking disrespect. Mike Z is a really great guy. He knows the game. He loves the game. Like, Mike Z is a champion, okay? A champion of a gamer, right? But they brought out him to talk about the game for a little bit. And then they hired this guy. He used to work for... Did he work for IGN or something? He was, famous. He's a pretty big boy on YouTube. He's got like a few million Twitter followers, all that sort of thing on YouTube as well. Feels good, man. There you go. But they then brought out some developers to talk about the story, and to talk about some of the other systems coming into the game, like what's happening in the Icebrood Saga. They showed a few clips of the story, and there was the Bangar. I think they showed the Bangar clip here as well at some point as well. This little story clip, but it was half an hour. Right? It was half an hour of almost nothing, right? They didn't really lay down anything, and then hear this. Hang on, look, I really want to highlight this. Okay, like fucking Emperor Palpatine, like I am the fucking Senate. Here he comes, like fucking walking out. Hang on, here is he? Yeah.
NCSoft.
Okay,
VP of
from
marketing.
NCSoft, VP of marketing
To the stage. Come on, Mike.
And this is ominous, evil music. Here he comes out wearing. He's like roaring. Okay, like actually like Satan himself. Here he comes, right? I mean, like, what is this? I mean, what is this? Like, he just appears out of nowhere, and he's just here to tell us about how they're gonna fucking sell their. He's gonna sell their soundtrack on bloody Tidal, okay? And there's gonna be an art book, which I'm actually very interested in. You got the leggings here that we made Roy wear from Bangarang, right? I mean, like, yeah, like there's merch coming. Look at this. Bloody 10 minutes of the thing is on merch, right? It's like, oh, god damn it, dude. Like, seriously. ArenaNet clowned themselves. This event did extremely well, okay? It really did well. And then it's like, oh yeah, break out the furries at the end, by the way. Here you go, right? There you got furries. They did really well on viewership. They had so many people watching. They had 33,000 people watching. It was even more than the ERP. Fucking crazy, right? Absolutely insane. And then they didn't do anything. They didn't show anything. Also, Happy New Year to Shadonin, of course, over there in Israel. You're ahead of us. So it's actually 2020 right now, isn't it? So I hope you're having a good time, right, man? Very nice stuff indeed. But yeah, like with them, I don't know. I do think this was mishandled. I think Mike Z was maybe not the best suited to live presentation. He seemed a little bit nervous, with good reason, to be fair, right? But it didn't seem like it didn't seem sure. There was no certainty. There was no conviction in it. And in the entire thing, right, they didn't really say anything. They talked about new story teams and all that stuff. They didn't really show anything. They didn't really mention raids or fractals. Like PvP and World vs. All got a very teeny tiny brief mention. Oh, this really rocked my confidence. I was ready to get hyped, dude, right? I've been playing WoW for a little bit, like a few days, I think. So I was like already like, dude, whoa, yeah, insane. I was in the queue at the same time as watching this stuff, and I was kind of excited. I was like, you know what? I think they're actually going to drop stuff, but they kind of didn't drop anything, right? It was I think a bit of a misunderstanding of how PR really needs to be, right? I don't think they did a very good job of hyping up the game. It was way too short and not enough substance. A lot of style, a lot of hype, but then they didn't really deliver on that hype, right? But yeah, there you go. Okay, and yeah, this is a good quote to bring up, actually, Logos, because I did say this. I did actually say this, yeah. I said there's no way they don't have something that big if they go so far. I did say that, yeah. I thought they would have something really, really big, because I didn't think they would hype this up with this mega countdown, really, you know, a full theater, hired out, really try hard. They're bringing in, you know, the presenter guy who's a big, you know, big social media figure, like to really draw some eyes on it, all that sort of thing. They're going hard. But all they did was, it's literally like rebranded Living Story, but they changed the name, you know? It's, not ideal, actually. Not ideal at all. But I will say, this is the true frustrating part of it. Do you guys want to know the really frustrating part about that presentation? Was that they didn't really have anything to hide. They delivered Bound by Blood, which was genuinely one of the best pieces of content they have ever put in the game. Seriously. Bound by Blood, this episode, the prologue for the story, was actually really good. If they just said that, yeah, we've got this massive new map, loads of events, okay, they did talk about the strike mission, we have this new type of content, the strike mission was coming as well, but like, Bound by Blood was actually a lot of fun. It wasn't anything particularly new, but why not show off a little bit more of this? Maybe it wasn't done yet, potentially. They were kind of rushing to get it out there, but it was a pretty long episode. Had some interesting character actions. They introduced this new, like, evil Char faction meme that's going on there. You got this, like, whole, like, rock, like, metal band, Char Metal Legion meme going in there. Like, you've got this Ooze Pit minigame, which is kind of okay. You got loads of stuff going on. I don't know. Like, What the hell? Seriously, they actually had something good. They actually had something good, and they just didn't really show it off that well during the trailer. So all of that sweating about the game being a bit scuffed and a bit like, holy shit, they've got nothing, was kind of for no reason. They actually did have something. They had something with Bound Blood, which is actually really good. And once again, getting some more value out of that Conjured Amalgamate rig there. Look at that stuff. It was good. It was genuinely pretty solid. You know, a lot of people would argue that it was actually considerably better, even, than the episode 1, right? Like the Whisper in the Dark, right? And also, there were some really nice touches with this. Like, they sent this out to a lot of people. The Metal Legion live in concert. I've still got that on my desk. Loads of fun. I still want to get that art book, actually. Jesus Christ. What is this? Dude, seriously, anime Dark Souls was a mistake. Yeah, you're right, it was. Good grief. But anyway, there you go, and then we end up seeing this cutscene as well. And this was really quite an interesting cutscene. It was quite well done. Interesting characters. Like you had a bit of grit, right? What Bound by Blood, it was a little bit darker, a little bit edgier, and they definitely continued that into episode 1. But like Bound by Blood was actually a really good episode. The prologue, and I came back in a brief period of playing World of Warcraft. To come and play through the story, right? And it was good. It was fun, right? And it was a good story to play through. But the issue with Bound by Blood and so many of these parts of Guild Wars 2 is that they don't fix the underlying issue that it's effectively single-player content. There's just too much single-player stuff, right? The episode wasn't really that repeatable. I love to see jumping puzzles return, by the way. Hopefully we see some more of those later on, right? But it's just what they aren't addressing the issues that I perceive with the game. Realistically, this is because the casuals won, right? Single player content is the way. Single player and single playthrough content is where Guild Wars 2 is going with this story. That is what's happening, unfortunately, with the game. That's definitely the direction. They're even doubling down on that, as you'll see later on in the roadmap. But I don't know, man. Like, this is where it is. Feels bad, man. But I don't know. Overall, the execution for what it was, Bound by Blood was actually really excellent. It was good. It was fun. It was enjoyable. And it had a bit of an interesting story, and it was moving in a different direction. But yeah, there you go. Hello, Longinus, by the way. How you doing, man? And yes, Happy New Year to all those who have reached there already. I'm still 2 hours behind you guys, but there you go. And let's talk about strike missions. So strike missions were announced in the Icebridge Saga announcement thing. They didn't really hype them up very well, and people weren't really enthused by them. People never really took to them, because the first one they released was the Grothmar one, which is the one you see right now. And, well, as you can probably tell, it's not that difficult, as here I am soloing it on my Firebrand. So, yeah, not that difficult, right? Not that tricky at all. But, I made a video about this, and I actually completely hold to this. Like, strike missions are probably, in my opinion, the future of endgame PvE in Guild Wars 2. I think we may not see new raids. I think we may not see new fractals. I think strike missions are replacements for raids and fractals combined. Seriously, I actually think that. And why do I think that? I think that because they are a little bit more accessible. And they are easier, and they can definitely scale them. We see that with the recent strike missions are a lot harder. The Bone Skinner, the duo of Coden, and the Freyner of Jormag, right? They're all very different fights. They're all interesting fights as well. Just a little bit too easy. But my worry about strikes is that people weren't really hyped for them, and I don't think that, for some reason that I can't quite understand, strike missions, the community never took to them, right? I think strike mission participation is kind of low, right? It's weirdly low, even. I don't really know what's going on there. I don't know why that happened, but it's very, very low participation in strikes. I think they're really good, and I've made multiple videos about them, saying how good they are and how enjoyable they are, right? I really like it. But it's just weird to me that people didn't like them. And to be honest, I don't even have the answer for that. Like, if you guys know, I don't know, leave a comment, right? But I seriously, I assumed, I inferred that there was going to be a CM. This turned out to be a boss in the new map, not a CM. A real shame. And what's unusual is that, look, Raid Challenge about time trial. Like, there's actually an achievement here, but it never really got anywhere, right, with this. So, I don't know, like, I think they plan to iterate on this. Maybe we'll see it eventually, and maybe some strike missions will eventually be raid tier. I would consider the Bone Skinner to be quite close to raid tier. But I don't know, I guess the rewards are not quite good enough for people to repeat them, but I think they're actually kind of fun fights, right? Especially when you pug them. I think they're a bit more fun when you pug. They're not as fun when they're organized, because you just kind of face roll them, right? But yeah, like, you know what's funny about strikes, guys? This is a fun fact. If you don't know this, strike missions were originally actually inspired by an intern there was an intern at Arena who was working and actually made Freezy, the Winter's Day strike mission, which you can see in the game right now. And that it was basically a strike mission, a very easy raid boss. It had a lot of mechanics. It was actually even more mechanically intricate than a lot of these actually. And that idea stuck, and I hope they hired the intern because yeah, that the intern effectively inspired one of the main selling points of the Icebrood saga. But yeah, like Freezy was really good, and I praised that then as well, and I praise these strikes now. I think they are actually really, really good content. But there you go. And dude, like this was so weird actually. They were really, really try hard with the with episode 0 with the prologue. They honestly put more effort into the prologue than they did into the episode 1 really. Like they had this whole book, Living World issue 1. This like fake magazine they made up as well, even with like some ERP stories and stuff in it. It's like, what is going on? Like this entire set describing all the characters and stuff like that. This stuff is great. Like I don't know. Like you might, it's not content. I know it, right? But I know it's not content, but it's funny, right? You know, it brings the game some energy, like, you know, and you even see your new box art here with the little CDs. That's fun, and I miss physical editions in game, man. I wish they sold physical editions for this because I'd buy it 100%, right? But yeah, the expansion level content was this, okay, that we were promised. Now here comes your expansion level content, boys. Feels good, man. Okay, feels good, man. I thought this was a pretty good meme. Like this is one Jaw made about the announcement. So let's just take a look. Let's take a look at this work of art here. Okay, here we go. Here we go, boys.
Stuff for this? Absolutely. PvP fan, we got him. Swiss style tournaments, those are coming.
Swiss style tournaments.
Swiss style tournaments, those are coming.
Yep.
And Swiss style tournaments, those are.
Yep, that's not good. So yeah, Swiss we now know is actually coming eventually. In 2020 in Q1, but there you go. But you know what, guys? There were some other features. There were some other features coming on. And it finally happened, guys. The long-awaited. We were debated for so long. And what happened? Build templates happened, guys. Build templates were added into Guild Wars 2. On October the 29th. What could I say? What can I say? This was probably one of the biggest like internal PR clown fiestas ever, right? This made the Guild Wars 2 community pissed, and with good reason. So build templates were added into the game, and this is really, really spicy. Okay, the system itself is actually pretty good. There are some mistakes here, right? For example, they're effectively loadouts, not templates. Very annoying, right? And changing gear, you can kind of mess up your templates very, very easily. Very annoying. But they are really useful. Like playing different versions of Necro, for me, has never been better. Same with Guardian, same with when I play, you know, like when I'm playing on other classes as well, like my Rev, I had like all my build templates set up there as well. You know, I've got Guardian builds, Necro builds, like Ellie builds set up for Heal Ellie and all that stuff, like Scrapper and Hollow I've got set up as well. Like, yeah, it's actually really convenient. But if you're a power user, this is really bad for you. Like, if you are, the limited slots, the fact that they're loadouts, not templates. You know, fun fact, that Shaman actually data mines or something, and it shows that they internally call them loadouts as well. They're actually not built, they're called loadouts internally, build loadouts, not templates, which is quite funny. But the real kick in the teeth here was that it was very clearly marketed and aimed at players who wouldn't even really want it. It was obviously targeted towards casual players. And not players who are actually asking for it, which is the more veteran, more hardcore players. And that's what upset people. People were crying out for this feature, and everyone who wanted it, they got something that wasn't for them, right? And at the same time, the existing one, which was Arc DPS, was completely taken away from them. So people were left high and dry and were effectively forced to spend money. Now, that's not really the end of the world. Look, it's something they put in the game. Fair enough, you know, like, let's be honest here, guys. If it wasn't monetized, there's no way this would even exist. And it's better to have this than nothing, I guess. Although, they were very sneaky about how they implemented this, actually. They gave you, like, a free build template, a few equipment templates, three build templates, and 2 equipment ones. So, they effectively just replaced the in-game stuff with this version, right? You had... Your build would automatically switch, right, when you would go into PvP or World versus World. So they basically gave you that, except without that functionality. Now, that has now been added, but yeah, you would have to manually change your build when you went into World versus World. So if you play a lot on one character, it was like a massive downgrade in quality of life, actually. Like a big downgrade. They removed functionality from the game. They did end up adding that back, which is good, in fairness, right? They did do that, but it took a while to catch up. And, dude, the handling of this was a disaster, actually. They never asked for feedback while they were developing this internally. They should have done, obviously. Okay, they haven't really they did take feedback and they are working on adapting it, probably because it's monetized, right? And the pricing is very aggressive here and capped at 6. So if you play, if you've got one character, if you want to have one character per class, you're fucked. Okay, like it's just not going to be good. If you're really invested in one character and you want to play them in every game mode, it's going to be a little bit rough. Okay, it's not going to be ideal, especially if you play raids, fractals, PvP, World versus World as well. Like you're going to struggle to get that in 6 months, particularly on stuff like Guardian as well, which is really unfortunate. That is an ouchie for buildings. So this should have been a real moment of triumph and community solidarity for ArenaNet, but it turned into like a mega fiesta, actually. They fumbled this bad. Like the triple monetization, ooh, not good. But overall, I've got to hand it to them. The build templates are actually really good. They're really good. They've increased my quality of life a hell of a lot. I'm not much of a power user anymore, more of a casual, and I have a lot of characters, right? Which is why people like Wood and Potatoes didn't really care. They thought they were great, right? If you've got multiple characters, you now get kind of free build templates-ish. If you've got like a PvP character and a World vs. World character and a PvE character, this is amazing, right? This is actually insanely good for you. But if you're a power user and you've got a lot of different builds, like a build for each boss, this is a real pain in the ass, which is a bit unfortunate, but yeah. There you go. The system is very good. It works amazingly. And that was another part of the frustration for build templates with me, actually, is just that it shows you how good, how talented ArenaNet are. They make really good systems. This is a very good system, in my opinion. Really good system. But it has this, like, fundamental flaw that it was designed around monetization. Really sad. Something like this, I'm sorry, it should be free. It's a core part of the game, should be free. It should not, you should not be paying for this, in my opinion. Feels bad, man. But there you go. That's what I'm with build templates. That's my overall take on that. I don't want to spend too much time on it. It was a bit of a flop. Oh, the only big problem with this, actually, was that it invalidated Legendary Armor. Like, because of the saved inventory space, that's basically what Legendary Armor did for you, right? Legendary Armor let you save inventory space by only carrying around one set of armor. This kind of invalidates that a little bit, because now you have like extra inventory space for your builds. Like, all your builds are stored in the ether, right? Which means that Legendaries are for what exactly? Oh dear. Yeah. Unfortunate. But there you go. We got it in the end, and I hate to say it, guys, but there's no way they would have ever done this. If someone had to pitch this in a way that it could be monetized, otherwise we wouldn't have got it. ArenaNet, it did not have a good year in 2019. Out of the depression, though, oh, shit. I forgot this was next. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. And this also got reported on quite widely in the media, because this was Mike O'Brien. Mike O'Brien actually left the company to make his own studio, Manorworks, which, you know, we'll see probably the future of in the coming few years as well. But yeah, Mike O'Brien actually left the company. He was the CEO, but I am actually going to put a bit of a positive spin on this, or rather a neutral spin it was. I don't think he was even working on Guild Wars 2 anymore. I think he was actually, it was leaked on a PC Gamer interview, I think. Can't remember, was it PC Gamer interview? I think so. That he was actually working on Guild Wars 3, actually, was what he was doing, so not even Guild Wars 2 anymore. So, and to be honest, he may have got nudged out of the company because of the debacles that he'd been engaging in with the unannounced projects. So it might have just been the entities have got rid of him, or maybe he just wanted to piss off. I think it was probably a bit of both, actually, because I think he hasn't. I think Mike O'Brien is a developer, right? He likes making games. and he wasn't making games at ArenaNet. He was a CEO. He was you know, literally a desk job, but like, well, obviously program is a desk job, but like a desk job, just like really boring. He was not doing anything what he loved anymore. I think that's why he wanted to leave, and perhaps, you know, NCSoft gave him a little bit of a gentle push as well, because of, well, how things have been going with ArenaNet. But I think he's probably not too upset about it, so if there's any consolation, I think he's probably having a new adventure with ManaWorks, and making some new games, back to making games again. And he even says that here, I think, you know, we'll go back to the beginning and make small games again. I think he wants to make games, and he's doing that now. So, feels good, man. And then Mike Z is basically taking over. I don't think there is a CEO role at ArenaNet, but and that's another reason why I think it's like not the end of the world that Mike O'Brien is gone, because like Mike O'Brien's obviously a very famous and esteemed developer in the community. But what does ArenaNet need a CEO for, right? They have one product that they ship. They have Guild Wars 1, but you know it's in maintenance mode, and not in a bad way. It's run its course, right? So they don't really need a CEO. It's kind of like a bit of a redundant position, as I understand, unless someone in the business world knows otherwise. But I mean, there you go. I imagine they are still working on projects. In fact, we know this. They're working on a console project and maybe a mobile project with NCSoft West. And honestly, I would be pretty surprised if Guild Wars 3 wasn't on the table. It might not be in active development, but it's definitely on the table. There's no way they'll just sleep on Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is a bit of a minefield for development, especially when you've got all the old devs are gone, so no one really knows what the hell's going on. I think Guild Wars 3 will still arrive, along with that console project, and the mobile game as well. Who knows, right? But yeah, Mike Z, he's now in charge. He's now god of Guild Wars 2. He's in the mix. He's going big. He's bringing that energy. Feels good, man. There you go. Yeah, and I think that's it. I think ArenaNet probably always wanted to move on. I think they wanted to move on from Guild Wars 2 a bit quicker than they ended up doing, right? If you think about the turnover of Guild Wars 1, they actually moved to Guild Wars 2 like, relatively quickly, right? So I'd be pretty surprised, actually, if they didn't move to Guild Wars 3 or another IP, maybe single-player games or something like that. But we'll see. So yeah, this was a bit of a sad thing. And this really rustled people. This, even though it doesn't really mean that much, it really fanned the flames of the dead game shit, right? Like, this is one of the I'm going to tell you how it is, boys. 2019, it's been, shall we say, a rough year matter for Guild Wars 2, okay?
Yeah, it has been.
This didn't look good, okay? Like, optically, this looks horrible. Let's not pretend, boys, okay? And it was a really emotional letter. I highly recommend reading it, right? In the summer of 2000, Pat, Jeff, Brett, Brandon, Gail, Josh, and I worked out of the living room of my apartment. We dreamed of mixing role-playing and strategy, delivering a constant stream of new content into an online world, and doing it with a friendlier business model than we'd seen before. Ah! And then they made Guild Wars. Feels good, man. What a good meme. It's really heartfelt. It's very sweet. It's really good. Definitely read that shit. But yeah, there you go. It was a bit of a rough meme, and yeah, the media got hold of this. Everyone was like, dead game, dead game, dead game. But to be honest, guys, I'm going to tell you a secret. Probably doesn't really mean anything, you know, overall. I think Mike Z is very trustworthy as the head of the company. There you have it. Let's see, what else have we got going on here? Ah, yes, this is what we have going on here. We have the Whispers in the Dark official trailer. So, people were... Wait, oh, there we go. People were a little bit excited for this because the previous episode really was quite something, actually. So, people were expecting it to be really, really cool. And I've got to say, they really knocked it out of the park with this trailer, actually. Right? They did a very good job here. Like, honestly, a better job than the actual delivery. It's very clearly getting a little bit edgy. It's getting a little bit dark. We've got corpses here, guys, right? It's a new map. It's scary. It's icy. It's dark. Okay, you've got ravens. There are birds all over the place. And some cool little side memes here as well, actually, right? The new mastery that we've been promised, essence manipulation, which was, yeah, new weapon set, not that exciting. And then 3 strike missions. 3 new bosses were coming through, the evolved version of the Grothmar one. Very exciting. And then this story. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Look at that, guys. Very spooky. Jormag is talking to you. There are shadows everywhere. You go through the Raven Sanctum, and then you see it matter in the forest. The Bone Skinner!
The Bone Skinner.
The Bone Skinner. What? Now, this actually got teased in the Icebridge Saga announcement, actually, so we saw the design there. Very interesting design. Very tribal design, right? Like, very, very good design. One of the best design mobs in the entire game, right? Look at him just look at you, right? All over this. You've got this mega thing. You know, the music is kind of ramping up there. The mega guy is there, teasing the map event. Ooh, it's snowy. Okay, yeah. At this point, everyone's thinking, ooh. Everyone's thinking yes. They're thinking content, right? Whisper in the Dark, very cool. We got a new launcher as well, of course, but there, you know, this kind of like weird blue and red, you know, kind of fissure appears in the screen. Guild Wars 2, Icebrood Saga, feels Icebrood Saga, man. Yeah, everyone was pretty hyped for this, right? I think so anyway. A really good trailer. It was well done, well shot, very ominous. You see this enemy, this thing stalking through the forest. It's like, what's going on there? Very exciting. And then we kind of, we fold, right? We fold. Because the new map is, the meta event is like, ooh, oh dear. Everything is very undertuned when it's released. The new mastery is kind of weird and very, it's not mounts or gliding, is it? It's very basic. It's like something that you just like use a special action hotkey and you pick up some orbs sometimes, right? It's not exactly the most exciting thing in the universe there, right? But I mean, no, the map honestly felt a little bit unfinished, right? Like you get a big boss and you go and fight champions, but I mean, it was a good spectacle, but it was very light on gameplay, right? Like it felt like an interactive story, an interactive book rather than a game, right? Like there was not much gameplay. It was all about just kind of looking at something cool. And I'll give them that. They nailed the spectacle. The Bone Skinner is great. The Haunted Forest is great. The Coden collection where he's turning into a Bone Skinner is great. There are these hidden little lore things around the place, like with the Norn who's killed people, he's turning into a Bone Skinner. Right, you know, like the guy, his friend turned into a Bone Skinner. Everyone's turning into a fucking Bone Skinner, right? Okay, and there's a lot of really interesting stories, but the really juicy stuff doesn't show up in the main story. Oh my god, how unusual, right? And we kind of go on a bit of a wild goose chase that doesn't really move the plot forward that much, right? In the story, we chase after the Freynin of Jormag and all that stuff, and we end up beating him down. And I will actually give them this. This was an amazing cutscene, actually. Look, okay? Oh, a lot of people might be like, oh, yeah, oh, it sucked. But no, you got to give credit where it's due. This was actually a really, really good cutscene at the end of this story here, actually. Look at this, like reanimating the corpse here. Very nice. It kind of sets the tone of how the story is going to be, right? Yeah. This is cool. I got some, I wonder if this was inspired by this. I got some Age of Ultron things here, because that was another, you know what's funny, actually, the Age of Ultron trailer was really dark, and then the movie was like this really weird, silly movie, but I kind of got a little bit of that, but, you know, really, really good, you know, no strings on me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I really like this cutscene, it was great, like, oh, and the way they animate the facial features on this Norn is just fantastic. They did an extremely good job, actually, right, a really good job on this, and, you know, honestly, from a story-driven MMO perspective, Guild Wars 2, it's on the up and up, man. It really is. It's on the up and up. And look at that smile. Wait, what was that? Yeah, I think we missed it there, right? Yeah. Yeah, look. Oh, dude, that's such a great little detail in this cutscene, right? Look at that. What? No, fantastic. Really enjoyed this. And the story was decent. The storytelling was competent, but it was too short. It was too short, but yeah. This is Whisper in the Dark, and we did have those 3 strike missions, but here's the thing, though. Those strike missions, right? You played them one at a time. You played it one at a time. Like, what is going on with that? Like, what even is that? Like, what the fuck? Very unusual. Like, you know, they rotate. I know why they did it. So they didn't end up dead, right? So you ended up with more of them, like where people would do all of them. But it locks me out of the Bone Skin. If you want to do a certain thing, right, you can't do that, right? It won't let you do it. And yeah, so let's move on to the strikes. And so we have these 3 strikes, and I'm gonna say it. I really like them. They're really, really good. Every single one of them is good. They're fun. I think they're engaging. They have there's ways to be good at them. I think they are kind of a good gateway between raids, actually, and just like regular PvE content. They're not too hard, not much of a DPS check, but they do require you to actually kind of pay attention to the mechanics. There's like one thing that's really important in every fight, right? Really important that you kill these 2 at the same time and you kind of stick together and heal up. The Freynin of Jormag, don't stand in the red because you'll get iced, and there's a break bar as well, which is pretty important to break the bar. Well, actually the break bar isn't that important, but you know, still, it's a break bar and it will hit you if you don't, right? And, you know, there's ads that spawn in a lot of these encounters as well. And the Bone Skinner being the hardest by far, or that high AoE pressure, you know, the big AoE pressure going on there throughout the fight, having to do those torches. Unfortunately, the mechanic doesn't really snowball hard enough that you can't just out-heal it. You ended up out-healing. And, of course, on launch, the Bone Skinner was by far the easiest. They ended up retuning it, you know, very, very quickly, actually, like just the week, you know, just the following release. I think it was like a few days afterwards they fixed the Bone Skinner, actually. I think they made it quite a bit harder, but yeah, like they went for that shit. They brought the energy, and you know, Clayton, he challenged me on Twitter, Matter. He tried to call me out, and on Discord as well. He said, I bet you know, like try and duo it again. And well, that's exactly what happened, actually. Like me and Layoffs, yeah, he threw down the gauntlet. He did. Like Clayton, he thought he could take me. He thought he could do it.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. But like he was wrong. We took this shit out. And me and Layoffs, I mean, look, guys, I actually don't want to say this, but like I heard that SC was trying this and they gave up, right? Okay. But it took me, the man himself, okay, the Heal Necro duo, the Heal Necro boys. It took us with this shit, okay, to go hard, to go big with double Renegade and annihilate the Bone Skinner. We ended up duoing it. Actually, you can get to the end here. Yeah, we duoed the Bone Skinner as well, and this was actually really fun. I'll say this: if every strike mission is like this, and you can kind of push it and duo it and make it interesting, it's actually kind of hard to do it. You got to do a bit of buildcraft. So I think I'm pretty fine with strike missions. And overall, I would even say that the Bone Skinner is a little bit too hard. I was very pleased with the strikes. The only issue I have, and it is a really big one, is that for start, there's like fuck all rewards. So obviously, dude, it's Guild Wars 2. No one's going to do that shit. Really weird. I have no idea why they didn't do that. It needs unique rewards. Like the Grothmar strike is going to get farmed every single day because you can get those shoulder pads, right? And you can get some rare stuff, the chair as well, right? Okay, but this, nothing. No unique rewards at all, really. Just like junk for the map collection to get the weapon, like rather uninspired weapon set, right? You know, I don't know. I don't want to tell you. Like, it really makes me think that they were pushed for time on this and that they just didn't have enough time to finish it. Because otherwise, where are the unique rewards for the strike mission? Like like a Bone Skinner head, like a Bone Skinner hat that makes you look like the Bone Skinner, right? For you know, random drop from this guy. A Coden, like a Coden weapon, like the Coden bows they have, and the hammer. Why not have those as drops there as well? And for the Freyr, why not have his helmet? Right, or even like a shoulder guard, right, with like a frozen arm on it or something like that you could get. There are loads of things they could have done, but they just didn't. They didn't do it, right? It was, I don't know. I honestly think that this episode was unfinished. It was rather short, but there you go. That's what happened with this new meme here. Here's the Freyr of Jormag as well, just for one more time. And this one was kind of interesting. It was like it was stage 2 of the stage 2 of this boss, of the the Icebreed construct from the Grothmar one. He's kind of evolved it. He's got some new moves. You have to fight the Freyr of Jormag at the same time. Again, a great spectacle, really cool. His model is awesome. Glitched out a little bit there, but when you break him open, right, I think he explodes. You see the shaman inside of him, right, like flailing around. Check it out. Really cool. Look at him there. He's like holding on and wiggling around. Great animation work here. Like really, really cool. He like throws icicles at you. He's like throwing some ice at you. There you go. Again, you know, it's really done. It's very easy. Unfortunately, this is the easiest one in my opinion. I think the Freyr, but. No, and look, he's literally not doing anything. I don't know. It's again, like the mechanics just aren't quite punishing enough. I think they should kind of punish you a little bit more. But then again, like they have to be designed such that you can do them really easy in a pug, right? Like even with public, because if you don't have a healer, like a lot of this stuff is made very easy because we just have classes that are good. If you're running this as soldiers gear, I guess it's a lot harder. But this is what it really shows you the necessity of difficulty settings. You need CMs. Why are there no CMs in strike missions? I said this in my video in Grothmar. You need CMs. You cannot fucking catch everyone in one net. You've got to have settings, especially in Guild Wars 2. More so even than in WoW and Final Fantasy. Because in WoW and Final Fantasy, the skill gap between the worst player in the game and the best player in the game is not nowhere near as high as the skill gap between the worst player in Guild Wars 2 and the best player in Guild Wars 2. Because the game is just harder. Guild Wars 2 is just a harder game mechanically. At the baseline. It's a lot easier at the top end, right? Obviously, the game is very easy. But at the low end, Guild Wars 2 is a much higher skill ceiling than other MMORPGs. So you need difficulty things. It's essential to have it.
Again.
But yeah, so overall, episode 1, it could be interesting. It could be... It was pretty good, I think. Overall, it was an enjoyable experience. We got the Bone Skinner. The music there is high energy, and now people know people do the bone skinners. I'm pretty sad about the fact that not a lot of people do strike missions, but hey, that's just how things go. And we're actually pretty much caught up, guys. There was only one surprising addition that came through actually recently, and that was capes. So you can see them in action here. And I imagine that this is going to be a kind of ArenaNet's next big monetization strategy. And we see that they've added the emblazoned cape, a few more capes in the gemstone, and there will be a lot coming through. Believe me, dude, there is going to be a lot of gem store capes coming through as well. Hopefully a few in the game as well. I would love to see them. They are kind of cool, to be honest. They don't really work that well on Char, and obviously there were a few technical issues. But yeah, capes which you added to the game. Fair enough. They actually work quite well as well. Of course, they weren't going to add them because the physics in the game are a bit like, ooh, they're a bit questionable. Not ideal. They work well on humans, though, to be fair, actually. Particularly human females, actually. And, you know, ArenaNet know their target demographic. They know there's a lot of hog squeezers out there, and almost everyone plays a human female. So, yeah, they work particularly well on humans. Human females work well. But, yeah, capes got added to the game. Fucking high energy. I don't really have much of an opinion. I'm very neutral, because I'm not much of a Fashion Wars guy. As you know, I just kind of wear... I don't really do anything, right? But, yeah, there you go. That's how it goes. But, yeah. That's capes. With all of that, guys, we're actually caught up. We're actually caught up. There's one thing actually that we have to talk about. Can someone find me the forum post, by the way? If you guys can find me the forum post, I'll send you a mystic coin. Okay? Because Dark Eagle wanted me to talk about the oppression of the frogs. A stream story. Are you ready for the stream story, Matter?
Mm-hmm. The stream story.
So, once upon a time, Guild Wars 2 was streaming. People were getting timed out for putting Pepe emotes in the chat. As usual. Guild Wars 2, they do not allow frogs. Now, the chat was obviously upset by this. We love Pepe the frogs. Okay?
Yes.
And people started putting various frog-related pastas, even using the OS frog emote. I think there were some other frog emotes people have located as well from other streamers. And simply the frog emoji as well. You know, stuff like unload the toad. You know, permit the Kermit, that sort of thing, right? You know, like unbench Tam Kench, right? Well, do you know anyone good ones? You know, it's like, what's the amphibian one?
Something about polio. Oh, I can't remember. Someone must have the pasta.
Yeah, who's got that shit? Someone needs to put it, right? Uninhibit the ribbit.
Uninhibit the ribbit.
Uninhibit the ribbit. Very, very
unload
nice, guys.
Toad.
Very, very...
Unmute
yeah, unload the toad. Unmute the newt.
Like
Yeah,
that.
very, very good. And ArenaNet, they were baited into this, right? And they started permabanning everyone, right? There we unclog the frog, unload the toad. This unstick the lick. See, this is good. Unimprison the amphibian. Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice there. People started spamming this very, very hard, of course, going crazy. Putting it all over the place. It's very, very good. You know, it really is a good quality meme. And it went a little bit far. People started asking the developers questions about frogs, like frog-related questions, and if there's going to be a playable frog race in the game, if you're ever going to be able to play as a Hylic. ArenaNet started permabanning everyone left and right. And they went as far to say, okay, that this started getting posted on the Reddit a little bit, and I think Gail Gray actually replied saying like, why were you so harsh on the chat, right? Why are you banning all frogs? There's something wrong here. And then she said something like, we had to start doing this because certain users were trying. What were they doing? They were flooding.
They were
the
flooding
chat.
the chat with frogs.
Yeah, but they were flooding the chat with various frogs, and we want to keep the chat clean or something like that. Like just the fact that they actually started banning any frogs, like anything that's even remotely frog related, is quite funny, and it made people want to do it more, of course. And even it went so far. Do we have any Doroya subs in the chat, guys, of course? Because Doroya actually has a emote that he made. He will deny this, obviously. He will deny this. But he actually made Doroya Hylic, right? And Hylic hands as well in protest of this, in a way. And yeah, this is a frog that cannot be banned by ArenaNet. They actually do not ban this frog emote, I think. If you put that, it is acceptable. Yeah, because it's from the game. They can't ban it. It's an Itzel, right? There's nothing they can do. So yeah, there you go. The frogs were too powerful. So yeah, well played there by Dorora. He got the job done. Isn't it a bit ironic that Gale had a frog mini in Guild Wars 1? It is quite ironic, isn't it, actually? Yeah. And yeah, there was some good troll forum posts of that. But yeah, that's the story of the frog. So, we're actually all caught up, guys. We are actually all caught up. Here we are. We're looking ahead to the new year. Looking ahead to the new year right now. And we got a bit of a roadmap for Guild Wars 2. There's some fun stats here, like eating loads of ascended meals and participating in mount races and concerts and all that sort of thing. But yeah, here we go. We even got our roadmap. Here it is. I think I've got a picture of it here a little bit bigger. Now, it was honestly, the roadmap. The roadmap is not bad. They actually are very clear, laying out what's coming out in Q1. I'm going to defend them here. I'm going to white knight ArenaNet. What people... Do you know what your guys' actual problems with this is? Is what's not on it. Right? We know that a lot... Well, think about it. What don't you know about Guild Wars 2? Seriously, think about that question. Is there anything you're actually uncertain about? Because I would say no. Right? Because, think about it. You know alliances are coming. Swiss is here. We know there's a mega balance patch coming, presumably in February. Warclaw balance is now coming. We know the Lunar New Year Festival is going to get updated. Episode 2 has actually been pre-announced, to be fair, actually, which is something they have never really done before. That the episode is coming out on January 28th. This is actually, this is known with a little teaser of Drakkar, the big world boss, which is supposed to be as difficult, as challenging as Triple Trouble there. Shadow in the Ice, right? Yeah, he comes from afar. Exactly, Drakkar comes from afar. So yeah, we know that's coming. What don't you know about? We don't know if alliances are coming. No, we do. They are definitely coming. They talked about restructuring. Mike Z talked about it. They talked about it in the announcement trailer as well, the Icebridge Saga thing as well. And we know the story. There's going to be festivals. Like the roadmap is clear. The trouble is, right, is that people are upset that they don't mention raids and they don't mention fractals. And it's entirely possible that raids and fractals are effectively being replaced by strikes. In fact, I think it's actually rather likely, to be honest. Maybe they'll do Wing 8. But I think strikes are the new raids and fractals, you know? There's a lot of similarities, but there you go. The only thing you don't know is the raids, really, and the fractals. And they just weren't mentioned. And to be honest, you're not expecting a raid until probably episode 3 or 4. Probably episode 3 is when I would expect a raid. So that won't even be in Q1 anyway, right? So I actually think this roadmap is not even bad. Like, I'm upset about it because it doesn't have raids and fractals on it. It doesn't really have, like, CMs listed, say, you know, challenge modes for strike missions or anything like that. It's just more story. And it's a little bit saddening in a way that Visions of the Past, they're doubling down the story. That might be a fractal replacement, right? Fractals to give you a vision into the past, right? And that's what Visions of the Past are, literally, right? And again, it kind of takes you out of the gameplay and puts you in someone else's shoes. Not a mega fan of that, really, but yeah, we know where the game is going. We've known for a while. And honestly, do you know why people are upset about the roadmap? Because it's confirmation. It's confirmation of what we've been expected. It extinguishes any ambiguity. You know what? Oh, dude, that's the thing about it. Do you know why people don't like the roadmap? It's too accurate. It's too precise. It's too real. Yeah. Like, I think a lot of people have been living on hope. The fumes of hope they've had left. Right? Okay? And this just kind of took that away in a way. If you're really holding out for raids and fractals, then, well, this is like, this ends it. This, boom! It just, like, knocks you on your ass, right? Or at least that you're going to be waiting for ages, right? Like, you're not going to see any more uptick in raids and fractals. But yeah, overall, I think they did a really good job here. I love the communication. I hope they keep doing this, actually. And we even got some little interviews. Stuff like this is really, really cool, right? CMC was talking to us about the mega balance patch, right? That. And, of course, the Swiss stuff as well. Like, Swiss is coming soon, guys. There's even going to be a tournament tester achievements in the game already, right? It's just been data mined, right? Swiss is coming in very early, I think, in Q1 of 2020. Before the balance patch, even, maybe. Right? No, it's... Yeah. But there you go. They did a good job with this, honestly. I struggle to fault it. Obviously, I'd have loved to have seen raids and fractals, but I genuinely can't fault it. And that's where we are right now in 2019. That's basically all we've got for the future of the game. We know what's going to happen. We're going to see some World vs. World changes. Alliances probably in the summer. If I was going to guess, I'd say summer 2020. Alliances. Swiss is coming early Q1, I think. Balance updates. I think we'll get a date on that very soon. Actually, I think it will be after episode 2. So in February, probably. Maybe early February, before the monthly in February. So maybe like right at the start. I can see that happening. Lunar New Year is great, fine, sure. Episode 2, easy. Visions of the Past, boom. I mean, I'm sure. I'll give it a try. I'm going to go in with an open mind, okay? Look, I'm going to be well behaved. I'm not going to judge it yet. I'm not overly enthralled with the idea. Let's see. Let's wait and see, shall we, guys? Let's wait and see. But yeah, you know, when I was looking back over all the stuff for Guild Wars 2, it was surprisingly eventful. A lot actually happened. Not all of it ideal. Some of it was effectively
Not all
drama.
of it what we wanted,
right? But yeah, it's a surprisingly eventful year for Guild Wars 2, actually. I think 2020 will be a lot more eventful because I think they'll probably hold a 2 to 3 month cadence on releases there as well, so they'll alternate maybe like an event in the game and a living story. I wouldn't be surprised to see it in 2 months, right? I wouldn't be surprised at all, actually. I am really excited for the balance. This is going to be the best thing. If this is good, then it doesn't fucking matter, dude. PvE endgame MMOs are dead. Okay? Real. It is time to get some good games with some PvP and World vs. World games. I'm really holding out, okay? I'm praying to CMC, our Lord and Savior, that he will actually deliver us from degeneracy that isn't the current meta. That could definitely reignite, that could really reignite Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 has always been the best version of itself is a World vs. World and PvP game. And honestly, all it needs is to have its balance addressed, and it can definitely be back there. I want to go back to HOT matter with the boys.
Yeah,
you know,
with the boys,
we're gonna get
exactly.
new boys. Okay, it's gonna be so fucking good. Feels good, man. I really hope it will be good. Don't let me down, Ben. Okay, this had better be high energy.
No pressure,
yeah,
Ben.
yeah, no pressure. But yeah, that is that's some good stuff. Very, very good stuff there. I'm excited for it. I really want to see it. But yeah, that's all we know about the game, really. My personal theory is that there will actually be an expansion after the Icebrood Saga, and then maybe Guild Wars 3. And I imagine in 2020 we may see a bit of a hint at the console game they're working on. And perhaps NCSoft West will do something with the mobile app as well in 2020. But I wouldn't expect to see releases of those until at least 2021. I would expect to see a Guild Wars 3 maybe announced in 2021 or maybe even 2022. I think it will be a while away for now, but I think they need to wait on that as well. They really need to wait on that till they've got some kind of trust back, like almost like community trust. They need people to think that they can actually make a good game. So much about this is perception, right? And Guild Wars 2 is seen as a bit of a sinking ship right now, and they need to fix that. World vs. World alliances will actually happen. I think that will happen in the summer of 2020, and also I think there will be a Siege rework. Hey, Happy New Year, Ben. See you later, dude. I think there'll be a Siege rework and a World vs. World rewards rework. I would also think there'll be some kind of leaderboard or reward tier system based on how you perform in the new alliances system as well. So that's my prediction for basically all of the game. I think we'll see Wing 8. Not sure about Wing 9 though. Wing 8 will come, I want to say, middle of the year. Let me think. I think around episode 3, something around that, which will be, what will that be? It's gonna be January, February, March, April. I want to say May. Wing 8-ish, that kind of thing. But yeah, there you have it. Boom. I think the console game will be a single player game, Cyborg. Just as an aside, there, I think it'll be a single player game. But yeah, that's my predictions for ArenaNet in the near future. Feels damn good. There you go. That's it for Guild Wars 2. But you know what? I thought I would actually take this time to share some stuff about the stream as well, actually, guys. Okay, and here we go. Here are some interesting statistics about the stream across the entire year. In the last 365 days, I have streamed for 1,923 hours and 40 minutes. Okay? Just shy of the 2K, man. Shouldn't have slacked off all those days, dude. Should have done some more 24-hour streams. Okay? 1.75 million live views. Okay? 7,000 new followers. Okay? 46 million minutes watched. With the peak of that, look at that, guys. See? Like, look at that fucking peak on ERP. And incidentally, like, here's kind of an interesting meme, right? Like, look how many viewers. Like, that's what 17K viewers does. On August 25th, a 10-hour stream, 6 million minutes watched in one day. Okay? One day, guys. Absolutely insane. Right? Yeah, here, I think this was actually the Bick versus Heisen 1v1 here, actually. No, it wasn't, actually. I think it was maybe this one here, actually. Because it was quite close to the ERP, actually, wasn't it? So, I think, I'm not sure, what was this? This was a raid release here. Yeah, this was a raid. And then I think Bick, this must have been like that one there, but yeah. That was like mega, look at that. And, also, you guys are going crazy on the clips. 7,000 clips! Right? Whoa! 7,000 clips. So let's see, where did all the views come from? Okay, look at this. You've got to know who your friends are, Matty. You really do. Okay, you'll notice here that 12% of my so I got 50,000 views from other channels. Okay,
Yeah.
12% of that was from Jaw. My fucking man. Just round of applause for Jaw just there. Second is Sind. Okay, nice. Okay, and then Mella with 6%. There you go.
Wow.
Nice.
Feels good, man.
Yeah. Easy boys. Easy boys. And my viewers are 50% from you guys, my loyal followers. 22% came from the browse page. And then 8% came from other recommendations. And then there's still 15% left over there, actually. But there you go. They don't know how to add up very well. But, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. There must be a few extra things that just aren't shown there. I think it only shows the top 3. But yeah, just some fun facts about my channel. And honestly, look, I'm just going to say it, like, for me as a streamer, it's been an amazing... 2019 has been incredible, actually, right? It's been absolutely insane. It's just, like, the ERP, there's, like, lots of viewers. I get, like, 300 viewers every single day now, right? Like, growing the channel with followers. Like, a quarter of my followers with this year, I'm on 28K, right? Followers right now on that road to 50,000. We'll get there in the end, eh, boys? I reached a peak of like, I think it was nearly 1,000 subs. Actually, was the peak. This was like absolutely insane after the ERP. Just completely absurd, right? I don't know, amazing. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I know that Guild Wars 2. I know a lot of you guys are a little bit downhearted about the game, but you know, I hope that I've been able to bring a little bit of joy, at least, to your lives in the game. And maybe if you don't even play the game anymore, I hope it's entertaining just to listen to me ramble on all day, all night about games, about memes, or all that stuff. And I don't know. I hope you guys had a good time for the entire year. And you know what, guys? A toast. Here's to 2020, eh, boys? I know some of you are there already. I'm still catching up here in Britbong land. Alright, so we'll be there in about 50 minutes, so I will be staying up. But, yep, I'm going to try some new games in 2020. Let's expand our horizons. Try New World. Let's have a look at Ashes of Creation, right? Let's go further and do better. The PvP tournament is going to be far better than the ERP. It's going to be the best thing that we've ever made. And hey, you know, we've got a lot of stuff to look forward to. Like, you can look at the New World trailer. This got me really excited, man. The New World trailer they showed at the Game Awards was really great. Me and Matt have stayed up way too late. There's bloody ages for them to show this shit. But yeah, really cool trailer, I think, from New World. I'm excited about that. Very excited about that indeed. To play that game. Ashes. I'll show some Ashes footage in a little bit there as well. But yeah, 2020 I think is a great year for us. Maybe, you know, in Guild Wars 2 I think it will be good. I think the balance match will really be. I think solidifying that endgame PvP and World vs. World, that could genuinely save Guild Wars 2 for me. Right? Guild Wars 2 might never be that mega popular game, and I might not get, say, thousands of viewers. You know, I'm not going to be fucking, you know, I'm not going to be Asmongold in Guild Wars 2. Maybe not. But you know what? We're going to have a good time. And you know what? I love you guys all that much. You know what, guys? It's a big fucking stream. It's big memes, okay? We are the Guild Wars 2 community here. We are the meme lords. And you know what? I think we've had some serious memories and serious friendships that we've developed over the years here. And I hope we've had some amazing experiences, because I certainly have, okay? I don't know if you guys have been having a good time, but I certainly have. Like, you guys are kind of, like, the reason I'm still around in Guild Wars 2 and playing around and talking to you guys is because, you know, I really enjoy it. I love the stream, and, you know, because, you know, we've formed around Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is always going to be special to me. No matter if it does kind of crash and burn or if it ascends to new heights, it's always going to be special to me either way, guys. You know, it really is. Like, Guild Wars 2 is magical, right? You know, it's the first game I try-harded really and played properly. Like, so many friends, so many memories like that I still talk to even today, right? You know what I mean? You know, I met Mata here, you know, get some fucking pets. Yeah. You know, we've got the big Peepo community. You know, it really is absolutely fantastic. You know, and I value each and every one of you guys. And you know, I wouldn't change the game for the world, guys. You know, it really is a special community and a special game. And I know we're a bit hard on it sometimes, but I think deep down we love Guild Wars 2, and we really we really are attached to the game in our own way. You know what I mean? This is some Ashes footage. Looks very, very cool. Probably the biggest hope for MMORPGs actually is Ashes. Hoping to get a good look at that, some alphas, betas in 2020, and even the Siege mode. I'll definitely play that when that comes out as well. I'll share that as well. On the stream. But yeah, some really, really cool stuff in the future for MMOs in 2020, particularly New World and some Ashes stuff, I think, is what I'm looking forward to trying out and playing there as well. So yeah, thanks for 2019, guys. It was fucking great on my end, at least. And it's going to be onwards and upwards for me. We're going to keep streaming every day. More production value. I'm going to try and really get my stream setup sorted out. You can see that with this camera. Hello! Coming to you in HD! But yeah, we're going to go further. More stuff. Higher energy. More memes. Bigger and better. Bigger and bolder. Further and further. And, guys, get ready, because the event of 2020, guys. You know, this LCS stuff in League of Legends, the Invitational... Don't make me laugh. Seriously.
Don't make me laugh.
I can't.
That's harsh.
It's too much. I can't do it. Right, these are children's games, man. These children's games. Unbelievable. We've got a real tournament coming up, guys. Okay? Masters of the Arena in 2020.
Yep.
I am gonna blow your fucking mind with that game. Okay? It's gonna get crazy. Okay, we're going harder and bigger and Master of the Arena. Even if you're not into PvP, I know you guys might not be into PvP. I know not a lot of people are in Guild Wars 2, but you know what? I'm gonna make it exciting, because you know what people told me about ERP is that I don't raid, but I was hyped. Okay, what did Nudie comment? Nudie commented on the ERP3 trailer. Said, I don't raid, but damn, that's hype, dude. And we're gonna do the same thing. But oh, there is so much more in store for 2020, guys. Okay, follow the stream, because you're not gonna want to miss anything. I really want to upgrade the quality of the stream and just go a lot further in every way. So yeah, stay tuned, my friends, for that, because it is going to be fucking epic, boys. I am really excited for a lot of stuff stream-wise coming through in the game there as well. I'm really, really ready for it. I'm really ready for the energy. So yeah, prepare yourselves, my friends, for 2020. It's going to be great. It's going to be really, really good.